You're in Braves country.
Good afternoon, Braves country. There we go. There I am. Look out. Hot coffee coming in. See what we got going on here. Let me get the lineup here on your screen for 1 second. Let me get that going. Might have to change the view because we haven't done this version in a while, and I don't think you'll be able to see it all the way. But we'll see what we have going on. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Not too bad. All right. We'll go with it. Good afternoon, Braves country. Good to see you, Nathaniel, standby, David S., Robert. This was more of a pop-up show. We had not announced this for anyone who may be like, what the hell? I don't remember. We didn't announce this one because we got to looking at the schedule and we're like, man, what the hell am I going to do the Braves country today? Because we're going to run out of time because of the weird time of this game. And then to top it off, we head to Miami, and it's an earlier start, and I just felt like this was the best time to do Braves country today and go ahead and get things going. We won't be in your hair too long today as we got to step away for the pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. So we'll do this for about 15 minutes today, and then we'll step out of the way so you can get set as the Atlanta Braves are set to take on the Cincinnati Reds. And it's going to be a game that I believe the Braves should win. And it's a game that if the Braves want to be in the playoff hunt, they will win. This is a game here. You've got Chris Sale coming in 17-3 with a 2.35 ERA. And Aguilar, he's 2-0, but he's got a 4.88 ERA. And I was looking at his repertoire. I looked at a couple of his videos. Didn't really get heavy into it because it's such a small sample size. But he doesn't have blow-you-away stuff. He's got a 4-pitch repertoire. He throws the sinker, the change, the slider, and the curve. He heavily leans on the sinker at 53% and then tries to keep you honest with the change at about 20%. The slider and curve, he mixes those pretty evenly at 10 and 9%. And he's going against Chris Sale. I saw a funny video this morning. Didn't have time to capture it and share it. The short of it was the last start by Zach Wheeler where he pitched well. And Bryce Harper's being interviewed, doing Bryce Harper things, and he makes the comment that he doesn't care what people say. The Sai Young winner is Zach Wheeler. Look, I get it's his teammate. He's going to stand up for him. He couldn't be more wrong in this situation. The Sai Young winner for the 2024 National League is going to be on the bump today for your Atlanta Braves. I don't give a damn if he gets another out the rest of the year. That's your Cy Young winner. 17-3, he's pacing the league. 2.35 ERA, 219 strikeouts. It's not even close. And if Harper wants to make that goofy argument, and if he wants to say, well, but he's on a team that's going to win the division, what happened back in 2021? Because I'm telling you right now, to the day I die, Austin Riley was the National League MVP in 2021. You go back and look at all of his numbers, all the major numbers that have been counted over the years. The only thing that Bryce Harper had him beat in was WAR. Everything else went to Riley. And the other big thing in that whole thing, and I'll put it to bed, go back and look at the numbers of Bryce Harper in series against the Atlanta Braves. Excuse me. He choked. He spit the bit. He did what Bryce Harper always does. He did not put up big numbers. He didn't put up even decent numbers. He was 0 for forever for quite a bit of that season series, and he's one of the main reasons why the Phillies spit the bit in 2021 and why the Braves went on to win the World Series. So I don't want to hear any kind of argument about, well, he's on a winning team. First of all, that's got nothing to do with the Cy Young Award. It's usually factored into the MVP, but it wasn't in 2021. The Cy Young has always gone to the most deserving pitcher in the league, and it's got nothing to do with where your team is in the standings. MVP, it's a different argument. Always a different argument. All right, and it's one of the reasons why Shohei Ohtani is going to run away with the MVP this year. All right, now back to the Braves. We've split so far in this series. It's not what you love. It's not what you like. But good to see you. We got Nathaniel jumping into the chat. We got Justin. Good to see y'all. But looking at this, game one of this series, you put that entire thing on the coaching staff. They made terrible decisions. Have to move on. Game two, Atlanta Braves players didn't allow the coaching staff to spit the bit. They went out there and dominated game two of this series. So game three, I'm expecting more of the same. Chris Sale. Look, this is a gotta-win game. We have probably 3 more starts with Chris Sale this season. You're 10 games left in the season? He's going to pitch today. He should pitch Tuesday with the off day on Monday. They will skip Grant Holmes in the rotation. And he will pitch the final day of the season, Sunday, September 29th against the Royals. So he'll pitch against the Mets in Game 1 on Tuesday and the Royals in Game 3 on Sunday, the final game of the season. That's assuming that they need to win that game. If they don't need to win the game, let's say the Braves go on a tear here and they have a wild card sewn up by that Sunday, it doesn't matter the seeding. If they have a playoff berth sewn up by that Sunday, they will bench Chris Sale to save him for Game 1 of the wild card series. So that's what you're looking at. If you need Chris Sale, you got him 3 more times. If you don't need him, which would be the best case scenario, unless, of course, we've just fallen well out of the damn race and they don't want to put any more innings on Chris Sale. If you don't need him, he has 2 more times. 1 today and 1 against the Mets. Now, you got to look at what the Mets are going to be doing, and the Diamondbacks for that matter. It's not just paying attention to one. You want to pay attention to both of them. So we come in today 2 games behind both of them. If we win the Mets series, we will have the tiebreaker on both teams. We've already won the season series against the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks go to Milwaukee. That's good news, bad news. The good news is they're going to go play a very good Milwaukee team for the entire weekend. The bad news in this situation, and it just is what it is, not a lot that you can do about it, but the Milwaukee Brewers, if you missed the news last night, they put the division to bed. They were the first to punch the ticket as far as the legitimate division winners. Yankees clinched a wild card spot, but a playoff spot. That's not something you really celebrate. So the Brewers clinched the division, so they partied into the night. What typically happens the day after you clinch, a lot of your starters take the day off. They got skull rippers. They're dehydrated as hell. And you just hope for the best. But right now, Arizona's a favorite in Milwaukee, and that's the reason why. That is the number one reason why. Okay? So, Brandon Pfaadt's going for the Diamondbacks. You hope for the best. We hope the Brewers win. But let's be real and realize they're probably not putting their best foot forward. Phillies, on the other hand, they lost last night. They're going to New York. And Taijuan Walker, he's on the mound for the Phillies versus his old team, the Mets, and he is awful. He is 3-6 with a 6.29 ERA. The only reason why he's starting is because everything else they've thrown at the wall to stick has been a disaster. So they're trying to put Walker out there. He's got good numbers career-wise versus the Mets, but he was having much better success when those numbers were put up. So it's going to be a tough one tonight because the Mets are sending their best starting pitcher, Luis Severino, to the mound. What you hope is that the Phillies come out and knock Severino out of the game early, and the Mets met, and we can gain a game today. If that does not happen, looking at the big picture for the next series, so I got to speed this up a little bit. It's Christopher Sanchez versus David Peterson on Friday. That's about a push. Peterson's actually been pitching pretty well, but I do think the Phillies can get to him. Rangers Suarez versus Sean Manaea, another good pitching matchup. Because the Mets are at home, you got to figure they have a slight advantage. But Rangers Suarez is obviously a really good left-handed. He's not what he was at the beginning of the year, but he's still been solid. And then Sunday's game is Zach Wheeler versus Tyler McGill. Now, it's good news, bad news. If the Mets go out here and win, or the Phillies go out here and win a couple of games against the Mets, they are going to clinch the division, which means what I just said earlier, they're probably not going to be worth the crap the next night. What you hope is that now they'll still be fighting for the best record, and that's not nothing, but typically you look like junk the next day. Remember when we ran down the Mets and won the division? And our magic number was still 1, but the division was essentially over. The Braves looked awful the next night. They got shut out in Miami by a very blah Marlins team. We ended up winning the next night on the back of Bryce Elder, by the way. So that's the thing about if you're expecting the Phillies to go in there and sweep the Mets, it's not logical. If they win 2, one of those games, they're probably going to be partying like hell the next night. So best case scenario, Phillies win 3 out of 4 in New York. More logically, you're looking at 2 out of 4. The Braves, on the other hand, they are going to be getting through today's game without Ozzie, and tomorrow it's expected for him to be in the lineup. Still not in stone, but that's what we hope. Morton will be on the mound versus Balazzo, who's actually been pretty decent for the Marlins in game 1 of that series. Game 2, it's Max Fried, who he's pitched phenomenally against the Marlins over years past. Against Aller, definitely an advantage there, as Aller's got a 5.40 ERA. And then Sunday's game, it's right now they're expecting it to be Grant Holmes. I don't see where they don't do that, because the problem is Schwellenbach pitched on Wednesday. I really wish they manipulated this beforehand, because you could have had Holmes pitch 1 game in the series against Cincinnati, and then you'd have been done with it. But anyway, it's too late to change that page. They'll go Grant Holmes versus some guy by the name of McCoffin. He's got a 7.64 ERA. Braves should be heavily favored in all 3 of those games. We know baseball, you can't guarantee a sweep. We need a sweep down in Miami. It's that time. It's go time. Bare minimum, you got to win the series, and then you set yourself up. If you win the series today and you win the series in Miami, you set yourself up where you control your destiny against the Mets. Whether you're 1 or 2 games back of the Mets, hell, in theory, you could be 3 games back of the Mets. You could sweep them in Atlanta, and then you're tied with the season series. But that's what we're looking at the next few games. We got the pick to click and the score here going in a second, so I won't ruin that. But I do believe the Braves are going to get to it today. I think you're going to be talking about a game where Chris Sale, I expect Chris Sale to be who Chris Sale has been. He's got a 1 whip and a 2.35 ERA. That's beyond dominant. And when you consider he's got 219 strikeouts over 172 innings and just 37 walks and 8 home runs, he's going up against Aguilar. I keep saying Aguilar, but Aguilar, who has a 4.88 ERA. So there you go. There's that. We're going to step away. When we come back, pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves coming up in a hot second. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff, dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry. And his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston Pennant's in flight. I is for inning. Ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olson all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly. And his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf. We've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Negro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rocking pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitcher's lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler, Matzik, and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren, Skip Carey 2, Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren, Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Ramalama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024.
like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it. The fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing, Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right, down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. A banger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Reed. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and rights
Pound of beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Great American Small Park in Cincinnati, Ohio, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Cincinnati Redlegs, Game 3 of a 3-game set. Braves are looking to win the rubber match here on the back of Chris Sale. We've got the conductor emoji kicking in the chat for all you Country Club members as we say goodbye to Cincinnati and set sail for Miami and welcome Ozzie Albies back into the lineup Friday night. Our pick to click today, give me Matt Olson, the Ice House, and your Atlanta Braves to get Chris Sale his 18th win of the year, pushing on for his first Cy Young award ever. We're going with Atlanta to win this one, going away 8-2. Time to warm up those chop arms, Country Club. Braves Country, get your game face on. We've got 10 games to go before we punch our ticket to October.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good afternoon, Braves Country. Hope y'all are ready for Game 3 of this series. We've already lost the season series. Hopefully we can win this series in Cincinnati. Just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Time to hit that roll call. I know it's a little shorter than normal on a day game. Sure, a lot of y'all are at work with your earbuds in here acting like you're doing stuff. Good job. Good afternoon, Jameson, Gary, stand by. How you doing, pushing buttons in the beef, Country Club members? James Hagan, Country Club member. Robert, Country Club member. Feel like I saw, I guess that's about it so far. We'll continue to go on as the game goes on, you jump in. John, good to see you. I don't know how I did it, but on one of my computers I accidentally changed time zone. It's really screwing with me. It's got me in Central Time Zone, and I'm like, what the hell? Looks like we're going to get good weather here in Cincinnati. Once again, as soon as we get the 3D kicked in and populated right, we will bring that along into the fold. Before then, it'll be the scoreboard, the pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. This is your first time joining in and watching Braves Country Radio, or the first time in a while. We have a 3D version now. Atlanta's wearing their road blue shirts and gray pants. A little surprised by that because typically you wear the lighter colors in the day game, but maybe they feel like they got some juice with that last night, so they're continuing to wear it. All the games in Miami this weekend should be under the dome, so it shouldn't apply there at all. So we'll see what they decide to do. All year long, it seems like they've been going with those with the gray on gray, but today it's blue over gray with the blue ball caps and the white Classic A. Cincinnati Reds are wearing their white pants and red tops. Reds ball cap with the Classic logo on the front of the Cincinnati Reds. Not a whole lot of people in this park right now. Shouldn't surprise you. But it is, 12:11 Eastern there. They're a little slow getting started today for whatever reason. But we are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Aguilar looking back over his shoulder. He comes set. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way is down and in. For a strike, it's 0-1. Not sure what in the world is going on with the Braves cast. So I am typical nonsense with the Atlanta Braves. We're going to switch out into the Cincinnati Reds broadcast. Do apologize. Typical Bally stuff from the Braves. I've been saying all along, they've got interns or basically some kind of goofy hire that continues to give you terrible broadcasts. We're going to the Reds broadcast, and now I can see what I'm watching. They've got technical difficulties in the Braves broadcast. The first out of the day evidently was a catch by Steer over down shallow left field line, left fielder. So there is one away. Now I'm caught back up. I can't rely on the Braves to do anything right this year, right? Aguilar goes to work against Soler. First pitch on the way, 80 inside. It's 1-0. The first hint that I got, they had an extreme close-up of the first pitch. I was like, what in the hell is going on here? And it went downhill after that. The 1-0. Swing, rips it foul down the left field line. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Reds nothing. Top of the first inning, just getting going in a barren stadium here in Cincinnati. Aguilar, his seventh pitch of the day. The 1-1 to Soler, down and inside, 2-1. I think we're just about set to bring you the 3D, so about to share that. Give us 1 second. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 95. 2-2. 2-2 count. Standing on deck is Ozuna. These early games usually low scoring in the beginning. The 2-2. Swing, pops it back foul. 2-2 once again. Braves nothing, Reds nothing. Aguilar, the right-hander, brings the 2-2 to Soler. Swung on, pops it back foul. At least Soler is making him work here. Not what we did last night with Junis, my word. If he didn't have a pitch limit, I think this was an up-down limit because he was just a few starts back into the season. Is the 2-2. Swung on, pops it up. High and out of play. We'll do it again. If y'all missed the game last night, he was cruising. He went through, 6 innings? Just 70 pitches? Braves were trying to ambush everything like they're known to do, and he was getting the best of him, outsmarting him, putting the pitches off the plate. The 2-2. Swing, pops that one high in the sky. That one's going to bend back. By the way, despite what you see on your screen there, it is a bright, sunny day here in Cincinnati. I don't know if we've ever done one of these day games like this. I think they're doing that so you can see the ball. The 2-2 pitch, outside wide. Oh, come on. Home plate umpire Derek Thomas off to a really bad start. That pitch was high and out of the zone, 2 outs. Soler hopped up and down afterwards, and you can't blame him. The frame by Male on the outside, he brought the ball in about 2 to 3 inches. What a disaster. We've seen Derek Thomas recently. He is an absolute disaster behind the plate. Soler shakes his head as he heads back to the dugout. First pitch to Ozuna's way outside wide. That one is called a ball. It's 1-0. Everyone was always under the impression when you got rid of Angel Hernandez, you got rid of all the bad umps. Give me the Robo-Ump 2025, please. The 1-0. Swing, hits it down over to third. That'll be an easy 5-3 put out, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Soler did make him work, though. We'll be back in a flash. Chris Sale will take the mound when we come back.
Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you owe me money saying I ain't forgot about you, it's not a form of payment.
Let's be realistic. It's about value.
Yeah, and your value is low.
Oh, wow. And how do you know that? You're not
because you're 5'4" and 200 pounds.
Okay.
And 37 years old with 2 kids. That's how I know. In Kentucky.
Okay. That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion.
You never seen my body before, so you.
I don't have to see your body. I know you're 5'4" and almost 200 pounds with 2 kids in Kentucky.
Armchair. Is this our vacation?
Yeah.
Oh. Are we trash?
Kinda.
Oh.
I was talking to this girl and she said, you know what, I call my the lotto because guys are lucky to hit it. And I turned around and looked at her and I said, I thought you called it that because you're always scratching it.
Great is baseball, the national tonic, the reviver of hope, the restorer of confidence. The Sporting News.
The idea of a baseball game on a sunny spring or summer day is the spontaneity of going. Let's go to the park, you say, at 2 o'clock when the game were played at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go to the bleachers. And you go and you get a ticket and you sit down. You hadn't thought about it in the morning, but if you were free, you say, for one reason or another. And it was the spontaneity of it. And sitting there in the sunshine and watching experts, good, skilled craftsmen, ply their trade.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back, Braves Country Baseball. Chris Sale goes to work. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses high. 4-seamer. It's 1-0. Jonathan India, the batter. Lefty-righty matchup. The 1-0 from Sale. Kicks and fires. 93 miles an hour. Foul down the line. 1-1. One thing you got to watch for Sale is that when he has had troubles, and he hasn't had many, he normally works through them. But it's normally those first few innings he'll have. Some of it's been bad luck, some of it's just been a lack of control, and then he normally dials in. So we're hoping for the elite Sale today, the 1-1. High and out of the zone, 2-1. And that's actually pretty common for not just elite pitchers, but starting pitchers in general. The really good ones, they always say if you're going to get to them, you got to get to them early. The 2-1. Slider right there, Frisbee, for a strike, 2-2. Do I have a main PC play? I don't know what PC player means. The 2-2 count, personal computer player. Pitch on the way, swung on and lifted into left field. Not having to move much, making the catch is Lauriano in left field. F7, one away. Oh, do I have it? No, not really, Sam. I wouldn't call myself a big-time collector. If I see a really good deal on a play, on a card, I'll do. But, typically I'm exactly what you expect. I like to grab Braves cards. And then, honestly, I don't mind grabbing those lots where you get ones from, like certain decades or whatever. Is the first pitch on the way to De La Cruz's swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. And you'll pay like $20 or $30, whatever the hell it is, and you'll just get a buku of cards, and then you sift through and see if any of them are worth keeping. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. One of the reasons is we eventually are wanting to turn our garage into like a media type room. We're slowly but surely getting there, but one of the things we want to do is something that we did at a bar that I bounced at years ago is the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got the unicorn a whiffing. 2 away. But I bounced at this bar. I mean, this has been a long time ago. It was called Shoeless Joe's. I know that Shock Shaw would work in a bar that was named after a baseball player. But anyways, they did this thing when they first opened. I helped open the place. They changed the names a million times after that, but when it first opened, it was called Shoeless Joe's, so the idea was baseball memorabilia. This was mid to late 90s. As the first pitch to Sale swung on and fouled back out of play, it's 0-1. And I always thought it was just the neatest idea. So their bar, around the bartenders, because they had a couple island bars and whatnot, but the main bar around the bartenders, and then there was an island bar right outside that. What they did is the 0-1 misses high 1-1. They had like a plexiglass type of top on top of their bar, and underneath you could see baseball cards. And none of the cards were like, is the 1-1 pitch is a swing and a miss, 1-2. None of the cards were like, you didn't have Honus Wagner sitting in there. Now they did have cool memorabilia that was all in glass around the restaurant bar, and our job was basically to make sure no one ever put someone's head through the authentic Babe Ruth jersey that was hanging in there. The 1-2 from Sale misses high, 2-2. But what they did with that plexiglass that I thought was neat is that they at very first they were doing it every day, and then I think it went down to about once a week. But they would lift the glass as the 2-2 pitch swung on, lifted into left field, not very deep. Lauriano on the run. He'll make the jogging catch to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. I'll finish that thought when we come back. Braves, middle of the lineup, due up here in Cincinnati.
I started drinking at 6 a.m. We're here now. I don't know what time it is, but I'm rolling deep, and those cars are going real fast and real left, son. They're going fast and left. Yeah.
Think you can run this school? If you could, then I wouldn't be here, would I? No one talks in my meetings. No one! Mr. Zarella, you are now my new head football coach. Mr. Darnell will be your assistant. You know why you're being demoted, Mr. Darnell? Because I'm sick and tired of our football team getting pushed all over the field. Thank you. Sit down. I want precision. I want a weight program. You've tried it your way for years. They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
So nothing bad happened? You didn't wreck it? You didn't hit anybody? You didn't run anybody over? You didn't get a speeding ticket? Wait, why are you making that face?
For 3 seasons, even the mighty hitting of Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth could not deny the American League championship to Connie Mack's still mightier Philadelphia Athletic. His newly constituted A's won back-to-back World Series in 1929 and 30, and the pennant in 1931. Mack's finest pitcher was Robert Moses Lefty Grove. He was a savage competitor who sometimes threw at his own teammates in batting practice. The A's hitters rivaled even the Yankees' murderer's row. But the most frightening hitter was first baseman Jimmy Fox, Double X, who hit 58 home runs one season, just 2 short of the record Babe Ruth had been sure would never be broken. He cut off his sleeves to display his massive bicep. Even his hair has muscles, a pitcher complained. Opposing players called him the Beast. Jimmy Fox wasn't scouted, a pitcher said. He was trapped.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson. Swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. But the thing about this, they would lift the plexiglass and then they would move the cards around. Sometimes they would add and subtract, but the point was wherever you sat in that bar, because everybody turns into a norm at a restaurant or bar, right? As you go 1 down and in, 1-1, where you got your place you want to sit. And so the idea was that you don't have to change your seat to change who you see under that glass. So I always thought that was a really cool idea, and we want to do that here at the house. The 1-1 pops it back foul. 2-1, or 1-2, excuse me. So essentially, I've got a bunch of cards that aren't worth anything, but for a conversation piece they are, because if you grew up in the Gen X days and watch football and baseball, those are the cards that I tend to collect. The 1-2, outside wide 2-2. But yeah, they had John, they had a lot of authentic stuff that was hanging in that bar that was right outside Nashville, Tennessee is where that one was at, is the 2-2. Swing! That ball's blasted into right field, going back on the track. Ding dong, the pitch is dead. A solo shot by the Ice House. That click clacked. It's 1-0, your Atlanta Braves. Wowza. That ball got out in a hurry. 384 happy feet, 107 miles an hour off the bat of the Ice House. And the Braves take the early lead. That was a bullet. That didn't have much evo at all. I missed the exit velocity on that one. It did not have much exit velocity at all. I mean, not exit velocity. What's the term I'm thinking of? Anyways. Launch angle. That's what I was thinking of. The 0-1 to Lauriano swung on, pops it up. Got underneath that one. Lifts it high into center field. F8 in your scorecard. Braves 1, Reds nothing. But I did grab a Paul Skeens rookie this year, and some of the others. I got a Schwellenbach rookie. If there's someone that I just started recollecting again, so I don't have a great collection like a lot of people would. I did get an Acuna and an Ozzie and a Riley rookie when they first came up. The 1-0, down and away 2-0. Moved around a lot when I was younger, so I had this collection when I was a kid, and it's a long story why I don't have that anymore, but I started recollecting, I don't know, within the last 5 to 7 years, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe a little longer. The 2-0, inside 3-0, but I can't call myself a collector. I just like to get some cool cards if I can get them on the cheap. The 3-0 pitch, right down the pipe, 3-1 to Darno. Pitch on the way to Darno, misses outside wide, ball 4. So Travis Darno works himself aboard. Bat there by Travis. First pitch to Whit Merrifield is swung on and swatted back foul. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup, 0-1 pitch, swung on, swatted into right field. That's through for a base hit. We got runners on first and second, one out. Let's go, Braves country. I want to see these blue jerseys on the road from now on. Don't give me that gray crap. We got some swings in these bats. And no, I'm not superstitious, but damn it, I'm a little stitious. Catcher Miley goes out there and takes a chat with Aguilar. They're not sending the pitching coach, I don't think, out there to talk to him yet. Miley heads back to the behind home plate. Righty-righty matchup. Urshela the batter. First pitch on the way to Gio. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing! That ball's lifted into right field. Making the running catch in right field is Rosario, 2 down. Thought that ball might have a chance to get down. Braves 1, Reds nothing. Runners on first and second. Now coming to the plate is Orlando Arcia. He's been moved back down to the 9th spot. They keep going back and forth between Arcia going 9, 8, 7. I mean, I think one of the problems with this offense is the lack of consistency in the lineups. Slider on the way, grabs the plate for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swung on and missed. 0-2. 0-2 count. If you're just joining us, Matt Olson hit a solo shot to give us a 1-0 lead, and then 2 more on right now with 2 outs. The 0-2 to Arcia, swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's why he should be always batting 9th if he's in the lineup. We'll be back in a flash. He swung at one up around his eyeballs. He's just an automatic out. We'll be back here on Braves Country.
I need you to be honest with me.
I am being honest with you, dude.
This is gonna go a lot easier if you're honest.
And I will, yeah, dude.
Yeah. What are you on right now?
Cloud 9. What? On Cloud 9?
No. What are you on right now? You gotta be honest.
I'm on one, dude. You know what
Stop. What are you on right now, man?
TikTok. What? Instagram. All of them. I'm on all of them.
I'm not talking about your ads. Drugs.
Sure, if you got some.
Armchair. What your favorite type of ice cream says about you. If your favorite type of ice cream is chocolate or vanilla, you're a classic person. You tend to keep to yourself. You do have a lot of friends though, and you're a pretty dope person. Now, if your favorite type of ice cream is pistachio, you either have a taste bud issue or you're 50. That's it. Now, chocolate chip cookie dough, you, my friend, are smart, immaculate, beautiful. Now, I don't know why, but when someone says their favorite ice cream is cotton candy, they're either 5 or they smell like the entire Bath and Body Works store. And if your favorite ice cream is coffee, you, my friend, have a coffee addiction. You should probably get that checked out.
Things change so fast in the United States. All of us had the experience, even by the time we're 40 often, of going back to the place where we grew up and finding everything changed. And something about baseball seems to tie us into that change, or to link us, to carry us across the decades and the times. As the new players come up and the old, formerly new players become old, there's a kind of continuity to it that we don't find in our neighborhoods, where the old factory is torn down, condominiums go up, and baseball, for all its changes, continues. 3 strikes are still an out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Your Atlanta Braves lead this one 1-0. Would have liked to get in a couple of other more runs in there, but I mean, it's just been a constant thing with Orlando RC. What I'm hoping is in the offseason, we're just going to have to do what we can do with RC now, but in the offseason, I hope they get someone who's the everyday shortstop that can hit at a better clip. As the first pitch on the way. Misses high. It's 1-0. They checked down the line. Alan Porter said he did not go around. But as cheap as Arcia is, unless he's a part of a deal to bring in a shortstop as the 1-0. Swung on, chop foul, 1-1. I would think he stays on the team, but I would prefer, if nothing else, bare minimum, can we get a guy who can hit right-handed pitching, and then if you want to give that guy days off when lefties are on the mound and bring RC in for defense late in the innings, I'm fine with that too. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. A 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. 94 up top, misses. 2-2 to Ty France. He's batting .244, 12 home runs. Former Seattle Mariner. The 2-2. Slider down. Did he go around? They check. He did not. Ball 3. France, representing the tying run, has worked himself to a full count. Sale comes set. The payoff pitch. Swung on. Chop foul. So a full count once again for Sale. France. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the bender on the inner cut. 1 away. Good pitch by Sale. It's a pretty interesting stat. 6 starts this season versus an all right-handed lineup, or switch hitters regardless. Sale is 5-1 with a 1.38 ERA and a 1.99 opponent batting average against. 53 strikes to 6 walks. So that doesn't necessarily fix things. First pitch on the way is outside wide to Espinal. It's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. The 1-0 from Sale. Darnode sets in. Bender, swing and a miss. 1-1. I think one of the things with that is I get it. They're all listening to their goofy analytics. So we got to reset this. The app goofed up again. The 1-1 swung on, chopped over towards short. It's going to be a 6-3 put out. 2 away. We'll get the 3D back going here in 1 second. This application has so many problems with it, but it's the best way to bring you this. Sometimes we go several days without an issue, and then sometimes it's just one thing after another. That should get you back going. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss to Marte. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 93 inside. So an 0-2 count. 2 down here in the second. Braves lead it 1-0. The pitch, 93 high, 1-2. The 1-2 from Sale misses inside, up and in, 2-2. If you're on an iPhone and you're wanting to join the country club, I think the best way to do it, if you only have the iPhone on you, is to go into like your internet Safari Explorer and log in that way, because the drone or the Android, I should say, is a 2-2 down and in, 3-2. They have it right there on the button, but because Apple and Google are constantly in a fight with each other, they don't want to share anything with each other, so that's why you can't do it on an iPhone. But I was able to get someone signed up through, I believe it was their Safari. The payoff pitch, swung on and belted down the line. We'll do it again. If you're on a laptop, desktop, you can easily do it, and you can do it on like a Roku. If you're, I know a lot of people put this on the Roku app while they're put the YouTube on the Roku app and join there. They'll have 2 apps going, the MLB app and the Roku app going. The payoff pitch, down and in, ball 4. So Chris Sale loses one. He'll head on down to first. Braves lead at 1-0, 2 outs. Marte walks, and Rosario, Med Rosario, comes stepping to the plate. Rosario, first pitch, swing and a miss, 92 right down the pipe. It's on 1. Rosario would have seen Sale quite a bit in years past. He played in the American League with Chris Sale. Against Chris Sale, I should say, the 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. Rosario's kind of bounced all around, but recently he's gone Dodgers, Rays, Dodgers. And then was DFA'd by the Dodgers this year. Cincinnati scooped him up. Talked about this last night, but he's someone the Braves would have jumped on if they could have got to him. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. I mean, even a Med Rosario to platoon with Arcia, I could live with that next year. But we can't keep sending Arcia out there as their everyday shortstop. He's just an offensive disaster. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the bender on the outer edge. That'll end the inning. 1 on, but Chris Sale is cruising. We head to the top of the third, top of the lineup, due up.
You saved $1 a day for a year. Do you know how much money you'd have? Roughly $30,000.
What did you eat before and after a match?
The pre-match meal was probably 3 Miller Lights and 2 Tylenols. That was the pre-match meal. And then afterwards, the post-match meal was probably 12 Miller Lights.
What your birthday says about you, friend group edition. If you were born the 24th to the 26th, then you are the partier. You're friends with everybody. You don't care who comes over, who has a good time with you, as long as you're there. If you were born the 6th, then you're definitely the weird one out of the group, but you're still really funny and people love to hang out with you. Now, if you were born the 14th through the 16th, you were definitely more of the quiet person. You'd rather just have all your friends come over, watch movies, whatever, but you'll still go out. Now, if you were born the 9th or the 10th, then you're the type of person that tries to get out of everything. You don't want to party, you don't want to do anything, you just want to sit home by yourself.
On June 3rd, 1932, Lou Gehrig did something even Babe Ruth had never done. He hit 4 home runs in a single game. But that extraordinary feat got him few headlines the next day. Something even more important to baseball had happened. John McGraw was leaving the game. After 30 years of continuous services, John Joseph McGraw has resigned as manager of the Giants. At the age of 59, Mr. McGraw steps down because of failing health, with his Giants in last place. Mr. McGraw was a product of the old school of baseball, when fistfights were common, when red liquor was sold at all the park, when only ladies of questionable social standing attended the game. To the end, he was faithful to his truculent creed. The last official act he performed as manager of the Giants was to file a protest with the league against Bill Clem, the umpire. Joe Williams, New York World Telegram. He died 2 years later, mourned by many as the greatest of all baseball managers, the winner of 10 pennants.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. Michael Harris II takes the curveball. High and outside. The 1-0 swung on. Foul back. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Righty-lefty matchup. The pitch inside. 2-1. The main reason for that standby, Jason not wanting stuff put in there, is they don't have the time nor the interest to check and make sure that all these links are, on the up and up, and they don't want to be looked upon as responsible for anything that someone might click on. Not that they would be fiscally responsible, but they just don't want to hear the blowback. The 2-2 count. Kicks and fires. Swung on. High chopper over to second. Fires it over to first. Ellie De La Cruz over to France. 6-3 put out. 1 away. They continue to play Harris on that, on the over exaggerated shift, and I can understand why they do that, because everything he gets a base hit is a pull. He rarely gets anything to the other side. But man, if he would start dropping bunts down, that guy could be standing on second base by the time the third baseman gets a hold of that ball. First pitch on the way to Soler is high and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Soler struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Braves just 1 hit on the day. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. I'm sorry, 2 hits on the day. For some reason, the other one's not registered on our electronical scorecard. The 1-1. Outside wide, 2-1. There it is. The 2-1 to Soler. Inside 94. Had to kind of bend out of the way. Braves 1, Reds nothing. Top of the third inning. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on. Ripped into center field. That's through for a base hit. That's hit number 3 in your Atlanta Braves. 1 on, 1 out. Yeah, standby. I believe it says it shows something like join country clubs. I want to say there's a subscribe and a join right next to each other. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike. Slider, it's on 1. What you're talking about, select a $2.99 gift, that's something else. I think that's something that they're doing through YouTube. That has nothing to do with us. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. 94 off the edge, but called for a wide strike. Seemed like he's calling these wide strikes to the right-handers. We may not get the same advantage with the left-hander on the mound, but righty-righty, he's given wider strikes, which doesn't excuse it, but at least you're aware and you got to swing with 2 strikes now, which puts Ozuna in the hole. They set up outside again. Why not? The 1-2. Caught looking, strike 3. That time, that one did grab the plate 2 away. Ozuna knew it. He must have been sitting on something soft because fastball touched the edge and he couldn't pull the trigger. I still say he's sputtering a little bit. It's hard to tell with Ozuna because he's still batting over 305 on the year, and he just hit a home run last night, but I don't think he's quite locked in. If we can get him locked in, and once again, he hits well in Miami, so hopefully that gets him right. First pitch, 95 up top, it's 1-0. If you remember a couple of seasons ago when he was hitting so poorly to start the season, people were talking about DFAing Ozuna, all that stuff, beginning of the year. He got to Miami and caught on fire and never looked back. The 1-0, outside wide 2-9. He started his career in Miami. That might have something to do with it. Sometimes guys just see the ball better in certain stadiums. A lot of it has to do with the batter's eye behind the pitcher. They just pick it up better. The 2-0 misses high, 3-0. So Aguilar definitely not wanting to lay one into Olson again after he ripped that one over the right field wall. Braves lead at 1-0. Soler at first, 2 outs. He'll be running at the crack of the bat. The 3-0 brings it. Inside ball 4. That pitch was nowhere near the zone. I mean, they might as well have just intentionally walked Matt on that one. They had no desire. I don't think he wanted to let everyone know he was walking Matt with a runner at first. But he basically got the Barry Bonds treatment there. Lauriano stands in, first pitch, swings, swatted high and deep into right field. Will it hold? Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a 3-run shot! And your Atlanta Braves have got a 4-0 advantage. 354 happy feet over the right field wall. 99 miles an hour off the bat. And wowza! Lauriano wow! 340 feet to go. We want to be sedated. The Ramones make it 4-0. The 0-1 to Darnode off the plate again for a wide strike. It's 0-2. I'm telling you, they are calling that wide strike, that ridiculously wide strike, every time. The 0-2 tried to go out there again, but this time it was well off the plate. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. 3 runs in. The pitch on the way. Slider down and away, 2-2. He's trying to trick him the last 2 pitches with the slider bending off the plate, but I don't know why he doesn't just keep throwing that sinker about 3 inches off the plate, because home plate umpire Derek Thomas is lost, and he keeps calling it a strike. The 2-2. Swing, pops it back foul. Good job by Travis to fight that off. We'll do it again. 2-2 count. Brings it. Swings, slaps it over to first. It's going to be a 3-1 put out to end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 3 on the board. Ramon Lauriano goes bonzo over the right field wall.
I asked my wife what she want for Valentine's Day, and she said a divorce. I still wasn't planning on spending that much money.
In the late 50s and early 60s, the state of Florida was responsible for 2/3 of all loss of limb accident claims in the U.S., due largely to one town, Vernon, Florida. This was because Vernon was the site of a widespread insurance scam where residents would dismember themselves for a payout. The problem was so extensive that the town became known as Nub City for this very reason. One man claimed he shot his foot when he mistook it for a squirrel. These claims generally received payouts of $5,000 to $10,000, but as the scam went on, the claims increased in value as the residents became bolder. This practice finally ended in the late 60s when premium rates became too high.
I am sick. I am sick of your and when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Just so y'all know, I am too old to be going out anywhere past 10 p.m. Please only invite me to brunch and day parties.
Satchel was just about some of everything. He was like, we had a good baseball team. When Satchel pitched, we had a great baseball team.
Number one, that's a fastball. He called that his midnight rider. The changeup, he called that 4-day creeper.
He kicked his leg impossibly high before pitching. Then he'd throw around that foot.
I was playing with Toledo Crawford, the first team in 1940, and I heard about Satchel. So I said, well, I'm going to stay up here a whole week after the season over and see Satchel, because I'd never seen him before. So I was up in the grandstand, bashful like I was, you know. I'm way up by myself, and the game started, and Satchel threw the ball. I didn't see anything. The man threw the ball back. He threw it again. I didn't see nothing. I said, he playing shot ball? So next inning, I went down there behind the stop. I just saw a little glimpse. He was throwing the ball. But in the grandstand, I couldn't see him.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Chris Sale goes back to work with a 4-0 lead. Thank you for the contribution there, James. The 1-0 from Sale, swatted back foul, 1-1. Braves 4, Reds nothing. Blake Dunn is the batter. Number 8 hitter today, playing center field. It's Friedel getting the day off, being a left-handed bat, the 1-1. Right there on the outer edge, 1-2. So he is starting to give that outside corner. When I say outside, I mean it's literally off outside of the zone to Sale as well to the right-handers. So typically what that means is it's just the way he's setting up. He's not getting a good view. The 1-2, foul back, 2-2. Or maybe he's got a lunch reservation somewhere or catching an early flight. Either way, there are a lot of umpires that are known to call very wide zones in day games. They're tired, they're cranky, they're ready to get out. The 1-2, swing, slaps it through the right side of the infield. That's down for a base hit. A worm burner, and Dunn is on, 1 on, nobody out. Hard hit ball. Fastball that just got a little too much of the plate. Sale kind of put his head down in dejection. I think what he's probably thinking is, man, if we weren't on that shift, that is an out. First pitch on the way. Bending slider. It's on 1. Very redundant for me to keep saying this, but lefty, righty, there's nothing but righties in the lineup today. But I will just out of habit continue. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Down below the knees. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. So I don't remember who was asking it. Was it standby? I believe that they have now, iPhone's actually blocking it where literally you have to go on either an Android device or just a typical browser on your desktop, laptop to join the membership. The 1-1. So if you're wondering why they do that, it's because when they do these memberships, Google's always taking their cut, right? So they take 33% of all the fees, membership fees, all that kind of stuff, right? Is the 1-1 down and in 2-1. Well, Apple doesn't want you to be able to join and money not go to Apple, and Google doesn't want to give the money to Apple because YouTube is owned by Google. The 2-2 up top, 2-2. So it's the political games of the business world is essentially what it is. 2-2 count. Lefty righty. Pitch on the way. Down below the knees. Ball bounces away. The runner was going anyways. d'Arnaud had no shot at that one. It's going to be a stolen base by Dunn. He didn't get a great jump, but that bender went in the dirt. And what little chance d'Arnaud was going to have went by the wayside when the ball went underneath his glove as he was trying to make an Olay fire down to second. The payoff pitch, swung on, chops it over to short. That'll keep the runner at second. Arcia flips it over to first, 6-3, put out one away. So you got to keep an eye on Dunn now. He may be trying to steal third base with just one away. One down. Jonathan India, the batter. And with the right-hander standing there, it's a much harder throw for the catcher as well. The 0-1 looks like the runner goes. He does. He'll have third stolen with these. 2 stolen bases. You could just read that. I mean, that right there was an open book. You knew Dunn with his speed was going to take off. He even kind of giddy-upped with a hitch step. When he saw it was a bender, he'd put it into full bore. I think he might have been kind of halfway going. If that was a fastball, he was going to go back. The 1-0 outside wide, 2-0. I think Sales just got to put that to rest. Don't worry about it. You got a 4-run lead. You're in the third. Just get India out. If he scores, you don't love it, but it is what it is. The 2-0 swung on, ripped over to short, and that's going to go off the glove of Arcia into left field, and it's an RBI single. Hot shot. As good a hitter, as good a defender as Arcia normally is, he usually is going to make that play, but that's a very difficult play. They've got to give that a single. Yeah, they did. Sometimes you're a victim of your own greatness, and Arcia is about as good as it comes defensively over at short, but it was an in-between smoker that got him about knee-high. First pitch to Ellie De La Cruz is dumped into right field, and now Sale has got runners on first and second, one out. Trouble brewing with the tying run coming to the plate. It was a slider that just hung up. Ellie didn't get a great swing on it, but just kind of fisted it into right field. The 2 on, 1 out. Spencer Steer, the batter, he flew out to left his first time up, first pitch. Fastball up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Time to knuckle down, bear down if you're Chris Sale. Double play gets you out of this. The 0-1. Comes set, rips and fires. Swing, fouls it back. 0-2. One of the things that makes him so great, Chris Sale, is that competitive fire, but I think also times it can get him, he can get into his, in between his own ears. They're taking a look at India. He was trying to go on that play, but the ball was fouled back, and they are checking on him. He's shaking his right wrist, just kind of rolled up on himself. He's making his way back to second. He's got a smile on his face, so I guess he's okay. started to see the trainers go out there, but I think they're retreating. Jonathan India, he just kind of rolled up over himself. That was kind of a awkward, clumsy headfirst slide. Did a headfirst face plant. The 0-2, outside wide, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Once again, if you're Sale, you can't worry about those runners because if you get the next 2 outs, they're not going to score. So you just got to put that out of your mind. The 1-2 from Sale. 94 up top. Did he go around? He did not. 2-2. 2-2 count. Braves 4, Reds 1. Bottom of the third. Big spot here in the game for Sale. A 3-run lead. The tying run is at the plate. The pitch. Well out of the zone. 2-2. He's at 54 pitches, by the way. And even with the, look, I get it. Chris Sale is a veteran, but sometimes even he needs someone to go out there and calm him down just to reset the payoff pitch. Misses high ball 4. So Sale walks the tying run. The go-ahead run's coming to the plate. 95 just misses high. Got to go out there and talk to him, but they are not. Once again, sitting on their can. Here comes, is this Abreu finally? Yeah, Abreu's finally coming out there. I mean, if nothing else, what you're doing is you're resetting him. You're giving him a chance to catch his breath, regain his thoughts. Abreu's probably not going to tell him anything he needs to know, but maybe you're going over strategy. If you haven't heard it before, we've talked about it before, Chris Sale does not shake off pitchers. So whatever is being told by Abreu, if they're talking about strategy, d'Arnaud needs to hear it as well. Because whatever d'Arnaud calls, Sale is going to throw. Sale believes that the catchers have done their due diligence, and he doesn't want to shake them off. He just wants to get the sign and bring it to keep himself in a rhythm. First pitch on the way. Slider down and in. Said he didn't go. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Brings it. Swing and a miss. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Chris says, mind your business. I'm listening to the game. The 1-1. Swing. Chops it over towards short. Arcia flips it to second. It's going to be hard to turn that. Do they get him? They got him! Double play! Now, what is going on here? Matt Olson... Oh, he was just acknowledging the good play by Arcia and the great throw by Merrifield. Looks like they got him. We'll head to break. We'll see if the Reds try to challenge it, but it looked like they got him.
Y'all, I can't wait for my daughter to get her first car. First thing I'm going to do is stomp out a bag of hot Cheetos in the carpet and pour some soda all over the back seat.
So someone today accused me of being a racist, and I've got to say, I don't think it has anything to do with your skin color at all. I think it has everything to do with your species. I don't know if you know this, but humans, we suck, dude. We suck, bro. It has nothing to do with your skin color. Don't care. You're a human, dude. You probably suck. 9 times out of 9.5 times, you suck, bro. We all do, bro. We are selfish, self-centered, ungrateful, ugly, ignorant, nasty people, bro. Have you met a dog before? Those are cool as
Dad, what? I was wondering if I could plan the family New Year's Eve party.
No.
What? Why not?
Because your mother always plans it.
What the heck? Just let me be in charge this one time.
The only thing you're in charge of is your own bodily functions.
Yeah, you say that every time.
I mean it every time.
Come on, how come you get to make all the rules?
I'm following the only rule that matters, the golden rule, jackass.
What's the golden rule?
He who has the gold makes the rules.
Oh my God.
What do you expect me to do? I mean, that's what I get paid to do. Did you see us play UCLA? I mean, if you're not going to try to motivate somebody after that, then I'll be damned if I shouldn't even get paid.
See, Satchel did to black baseball just what Ruth did to white baseball. See, because Ruth kept the franchises going. This Ruth, after the Black Sox scandal, here comes a Ruth, and he brings it back. And this is the same thing that happened to us. This Satchel came. This is a guy that the people wanted to see, and he never failed.
The average black player was paid $200 to $300 a month. Page made several times that amount.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Whit Merrifield. Another bad call. Derek Thomas he's missing a heck of a game behind home plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1 down and away, 1-1. I mean, these pitches, I don't think it's indicative of what you're seeing on your screen. They're 2 to 3 inches off the plate. The 1-1 chop foul into the Braves dugout, 1-2. Maybe that'll wake Snicker up in there. You know, the hard truth, as much as we get all over Arcia for his offense, and rightfully so, without Orlando Arcia on this roster, that run scores. I don't think there's anyone in baseball that can make that play like Arcia just did. The 1-2, misses high, 2-2. He had to charge and then flip it hard to Merrifield. Not taking anything away from what Merrifield or Olson did either. But he had to flip it hard to Merrifield, swing and a miss, strike 3, chase that bender well out of the zone in the dirt into the other batter's box, 1 away. But for those of y'all who are listening on radio or just listening along on YouTube and couldn't see it, he had to charge that play, grab it as a right-hander, flip it essentially behind him accurately to Merrifield is the first pitch on to Gio's up top for a strike. It's 0-1. And then be accurate enough for Merrifield to be able to grab it and have a hard throw down to first. The 0-1 slaps it back foul 0-2. I'm telling you, most shortstops in Major League Baseball, they probably just go to first on that play and get the easy out, and it's 4-2 right now, not 4-1. The 0-2 swung on, lifted into left center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Gio Urshela is on. He'll take the wide turn, but a good cutoff by the speedy Dunn in center. 1 on, 1 out. Good piece of hitting there by Gio. That'll bring Arcia to the plate. Arcia, huge hole on the right side of the infield. First pitch. Inside, did he go around? He called that one a strike. Alan Porter, man, come on now. Red after red after red has been given the no call on the check swing. Arcia was basically falling out of the batter's box there as the 1-0-1 swung on, belted down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It goes deep into the corner and just foul. Took a left turn at Albuquerque, missing the foul pole maybe 3 feet. It curved right in front of it and then landed several feet out of play. The 0-2 to Orlando. Brings it. Swing. Pops it back foul. 1-2. He continues to chase that high fastball, and Aguiar continues to throw it. You can't blame him. I don't think he'll see another bender. If he does, that thing's going to be well out of the zone. The 0-2. 71st pitch by Aguiar here in the fourth. The pitch, swung on, ripped over to second. That's going to be a 6-4-3 inning-ending, rally-killing double play. So Arcia, once again, not a good at bat, but a good glove. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, bud?
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I wanted to be a rock star.
Why didn't you become one?
'Cause of you, bud. I smiled at one girl in a cell phone store, and now here I am stuck eating cereal for dinner with a kid.
You'll always be a rock star to me, Dad.
You ruined my life.
Ozuna down the left field line, and we're tied at 5.
Quotes in Spartan history. When King Agesilaus was questioned about how Sparta lacked fortifications, he would merely point at his men and say, "These are Sparta's walls." When the aging king was asked, "How far do Sparta's boundaries reach?" he simply held out his spear and answered, "As far as this can reach." When King Philip was expanding his empire across Greece, he sent a letter to the current Spartan king, asking if he wanted him to enter his lands as a friend or a foe. The only response Philip ever received was a single-word reply, "Neither." When King Philip of Macedon sent a message to Sparta, he said, "If once I enter into your territories, I will destroy ye all, never to rise again." The Spartans' reply was simply the word, "if."
Armchair.
Satchel Paige had a good arm, a strong arm with no muscles. He had just like a slingshot. I grabbed his arm one day. I said, "Hey, Satchel," I said, "you ain't got muscle." He said, "No, but I can sling that ball up there."
He knew how to pitch. See, that's one thing. And then, you know, when he got ready to warm up, he wouldn't look for no plate or glove. He'd try to find him a piece of chewing gum or match them. He said, "This is what I'm aiming at." See, and he would throw it. And then another thing about Satchel, when he was on the road, he liked to drive fast. So I was driving, and so we was going from Little Rock to New Orleans. He says, he called me home, y'all. He said, "Hey, homie." He said, "Pull over." I said, "What for, Satch?" He said, "There's a man behind us in a wheelbarrow." He said, "We want to let him by." I was doing about 80, you know, and so, hey, at that rate, you know, hey, I wasn't going fast enough for him.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves trying to fight to get that third wild card of their existence. They won it, qualified for the wild card in 2010 and 2012. Of course, back then those were one-game play-ins. This will be a 3-game series if they can punch their ticket. First pitch on the way from Sale is 85-mile-an-hour changeup off the plate. 1-0. Espinal, 256 average, 9 home runs, 45 RBI. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, pulled the string. 1-1. You would love for the Braves to get out to a huge lead and not have to use any of their back-end bullpen pieces. Is the 1-1. Swung on, chopped over to first, just foul. 1-2. If you could go into that Miami series not having used Iglesias, Jimenez, Lee today, you could set yourself up what could possibly be a realistic shot at a sweep this weekend. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Down and in. 2-2. Two count. Lefty-righty matchup. Swing, chops it over to third, backhanded by Gio. Flips it over to first, just in time. One away. 5-3 on the putout. Gio might have needed to put a little more mustard on that. He almost beat that out. Wouldn't call it a lazy throw, but it was more of a nonchalant throw that shouldn't have been as close as it was there. Thankfully, it was accurate, or you would have had a real problem. One down. That'll bring Marte to the plate, playing third today. First pitch, 91 inside. It's 1-0. That Marte and Espinal, they move them all around. Second, third, DH. You've seen them everywhere this series. The 2-0, or 1-0, excuse me. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Jonathan Indy is the designated hitter today, giving him a day off from the field. Ironically, he almost got injured running the bases. The 1-1, swung on, chopped down the line, plenty foul, 1-2. On deck, Rosario. He plays all over. He tends to play more corner outfield here with the Reds, but he originally came up with Cleveland as a shortstop and can play all your infield, middle infield, and corner outfield positions. The 1-2 from Sale. Outside wide, 2-2. The 2-2. Changeup misses, 3-2. Braves 4, Reds 1. The payoff pitch. Caught looking, strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. Pee at the knees, 2 away. Man, that was a bullet. So nobody on, 2 out. The infield back pretty straight away. Chris Sale goes back to work. The first pitch swung on, swatted back foul by Ahmed Rosario. It's 0-1. Ahmed Rosario, 28-year-old from the Dominican. Lefty-righty matchup. The 0-1. Below the knees. 1-1. 1-1 count. So Rosario is going to be a free agent. He'll be 29 years old. He got about a just over league minimum this year as the 1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. He ended up signing a 1.5 one-year deal with the Rays, all guaranteed. The 1-2. Swung on, chopped on his instep. We'll do it again. I mean, I'm telling you, if you're looking for someone who's on the cheap that you can platoon, the switch-hitting Rosario, he's batting .284, and that's what this offense really needs, is a guy who's just going to get on. If they're not able to break the bank, and I doubt they will, the 1-2. Swinging and a miss, strike 3, got him. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 5th. Chris Sale, the conductor, is sailing along here. Your Atlanta Braves 4, Reds 1. All aboard. Whoa, whoa. Chicka, 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 chicka. Whoa. Mac Magee
And I, we're on the same team.
The Country Club for Braves Country Radio.
And we need more players. We need you to help us win the battle against hunger and poverty. You can sponsor
Braves Country Radio.
Teamwork is what
The Country Club for Braves Country Radio.
it is all about. And that's why we need you. For just $15 a month,
Don't get greedy. Ask for $2.99.
you can sponsor a child just like
Braves Country Radio.
I've been able to really help,
Braves Country Radio.
and it feels so good. It's so easy. Just reach out now and start sending your love around the world.
The Country Club for Braves Country Radio.
could join our team, we really can bat 1,000.
Mac Magee.
Who's waiting for help? There's room on our team for you.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball here on Braves Country Radio. Atlanta Braves take this 4-1 lead into the 5th inning. Top of the 5th we go. You're just joining us. Matt Olson hit his 27th home run to make it 1-0. To get us going in the 2nd, and then in the 3rd, as the first pitch on the way is swatted back down the line, foul. Michael Harris the 2nd, it's 0-1. Ramon Lauriano hit a 3-run blast over the right field wall. The 0-1 gets him in the leg, hit by pitch, and he'll head on down to first. Hopefully Michael's okay. We can't take any more bumps and bruises. We are cooked. Enough with the getting hit by pitch stuff. Ball just got away from Aguiar. Doubt there's any intent there. He'll head on down to first. I think he got him right on the shin pad, so he should be okay. Jorge Soler stands in. First pitch on the way. High and inside. Did that get him? That got him. He got hit in the upper arm. It's 2 on, nobody out. Aguiar. 2 wild-ass pitches. Where'd they get him? Right on the, in between his back and his left tricep. I mean, come on. Send Sean Murphy out there to charge the mound. He ain't doing nothing. Let him get kicked out. I still say I want a guy by the name of Murphy on my side if we're going to barroom brawl. So send Sean Murphy out there. They're out there talking to him now. And I don't think there's any intent, but that's not the point. There wasn't any intent by the Angels pitcher that broke Austin Riley's wrist. Out for 8 weeks, best case scenario? Runners on first and second, nobody out. The big zoo at the plate. And every once in a while, you'd just like to see one of the Braves pitchers. As the first pitch swung on, that ball's ripped into right field. Is that going to stay in? It's going to get down where the green grass grows, but bounce over the wall, and it's 5-1. Your Atlanta Braves, an RBI double by the big zoo. Second and third, and nobody out. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I'm telling you, we get a good lead here. Ellie De La Cruz needs to wear one. Jonathan India needs to wear one. Somebody needs to wear one, one of their top players. That's how baseball always policed itself. And it didn't matter if you didn't mean to hit one of the guys. You make damn sure you don't hit them. That's the problem with today's pitchers, is that there's no repercussions, so they don't have a fear of losing control. You do that playing the old St. Louis Cardinals, and you're going to wear one from Bob Gibson, I guarantee you. You do that with the Braves back in the day, Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, they're gonna make you wear one. Heincatcher's going out there and talking to him real quick. He can't go out there again with the pitching coach because that would be 2 visits in 1 inning, as the Reds are starting to scurry in their bullpen, but they're trying to buy some time here. And I don't know what this long delay is, but Ozuna having a big bear hug with, who is it? That's not Ellie. So that's got to be either Espinal or Marte. They're now going to go out there and get him. So they were just buying time, which is really ridiculous from the side of the umpire. He shouldn't have let that go on for that long. We're going to get a pitching change. I don't know how good Ozuna is good at whipping people. Remember, he got his butt whipped by his wife. That's how that whole thing started. Or maybe you don't remember, but if you know, you know. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. It'll be Zuleta. Man, we need this guy on the Braves. Zuleta coming on the front. He's got a 5.54 ERA. Yasver Zuleta. First pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back after the 1-0. It's 1-1. He is from Cuba, 26-year-old. I just like that name, Zuleta. C. Zuleta. The 1-1 down and away. 2-1. Maybe not the best name for a pitcher, but that's even better than the RC you later. The 2-1 pitch. Swing! That ball's belted. Deep into right field. Going back on the track. Duck, is it that could be heading to a backyard near you? It's a 3-run bomb, and your Atlanta Braves have taken an 8-1 lead. His second jack. That's a fact. The Ice House warming up here in Cincinnati. Wow. We needed one of these, didn't we? Heat those bats up. Let it carry over into Miami. And get ready for the Mets series. Eight to 1 your score. First pitch on the way to Lauriano. Is swung on and fouled back. It's on 1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Righty, righty. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Chase the slider down and away. 1-2. The 1-2. Trying to get him to chase that slider again, 2-2. 2-2 count. Righty-righty matchup. In the dirt, ball goes to the backstop. Still nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Braves have already put 4 across. One with the RBI double by Marcell Ozuna, and then the 3-run bomb, if you're just joining us, his 2nd home run of the day by Matt Olson. The payoff pitch. Swung on, just got a piece of it. Do it again, full count. That ball went 405 happy feet, 103 miles an hour off the bat of the ice house. The payoff pitch, chop foul down the line. Braves 8, Reds 1, top of the 5th inning, game 3 of a 3-game set. The payoff from Zuleta, up high, misses, ball 4. What? Derek Thomas called that a strike. If you're watching on your screen, that ball missed easily 2 inches above the plate. Just a terrible job by Derek Thomas. First pitch to Travis d'Arnaud is going to dribble through the infield. That's through for a base hit. And the hit parade continues. 1 on, 1 out. Good at bat there by d'Arnaud. Atlanta Braves lead it 8-1. They had the shift on, and that was a seeing eye single if I've ever seen one. That went just past the diving glove of the first baseman, France, and then just past the diving glove of the second baseman, Espinal. You don't see many that are that slowly hit that just get past 2 guys diving essentially at the same time. First pitch to Merrifield's off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 brings it 1-1. The 1-1 count. If Espinal gets that ball, d'Arnaud may even beat that out because it would have taken him forever to get that. The 1-1 chopped over to first. Step on the bag, flips it to short. Travis stops in his tracks, and Ellie tags him on the chest. So a double play to end the inning. Just like the hit before, which was the right place at the right time, that one was at the wrong place at the wrong time. We'll be back in a flash. 4 on the board. It's 8-1. Bravos.
It's fine. We'll buy it and we'll return it.
All sales are fine.
Come on. I'll show you what's final, you I will burn you alive like the last you cross me.
Okay, all right. That's not getting us anywhere, okay? She's hot.
I went hot real fast. It just happened.
Y'all, my wife and I have been happily married for 16 years. The other day I decided to watch a movie without her, and all of a sudden I'm moving funny.
American history lesson. You don't know nothing about Lady Liberty standing there in the harbor with her torch on high, screaming out to all the nations of the world, send me your poor, your deadbeats, you filthy. And all the nations sent them in here. They come swarming in like ants. And they're all free to live where they feel safe. And they bust your head if you go in there. That's what makes America great, buddy.
Here's Jackson, the last time at bat possibly in Reggie Jackson's career. Listen to the crowd. Broken bat up the middle, base hit, Reggie Jackson.
Anyone else find functional alcoholics fascinating? Like, these will drink a 30-pack of the most disgusting beer on earth, get blackout drunk, and then wake up the next morning at 6:30 a.m. and go to a manual labor job in the direct sunlight where they work all day. The only thing that they'll consume is like a gas station hot dog and Mountain Dew, and they will be totally fine, and then when they're done work, go right back to drinking again and do the whole thing all over.
One of the things about baseball is the imagination of people, and something remarkable happens. I was there in their imaginations. When Babe Ruth allegedly pointed to right field bleachers before hitting his home run there against the Cubs in that World Series, I've had at least maybe 100 people tell me. I was there. If everybody who said they were there really at Cubs Park would seat 500,000 people.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Chris Sale goes back to work, his 75th pitch of the day, leading 8-1. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Now, a couple things you got to look at here. I don't think they want Sale going super deep in this game because they want him to pitch probably Tuesday. The 0-1. Slice foul. 0-2. Which meaning get him qualified for this win and then probably take him out of the game. Because you're going to have him going on regular rest, and he hasn't been going on regular rest all year. He's been going on typically 5 days rest. The 0-2 off the plate, 1-2. I know it's not something we want to hear right now, but it pays dividends come Tuesday. So with you got a big lead here, especially if you could tack on a few more, you could find a way to finish this game and get him as the 1-2 pitch is swatted over the wall. Man, that thing took off in a hurry. It's 8-2 Cincinnati. The youngster Dunn solo shot, his first home run. I could be wrong, but I believe that's his first home run ever. 105 miles an hour off the bat. I'll double check that for you. And he smoked that thing. Dead center field over the 405. Dunn now batting just 174, but he's got a home run to his name. First pitch on the way. Inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Yeah, that is his first home run. He came up with the Reds 17 games into his career. He'll always remember that, won't he? The 1-0. Chopped down the line. That's going to be a fair ball. So we got problems here in the fifth inning. Sale giving a home run and now a double with no outs. He's got to buckle down here. Bending curveball. That was, he doesn't really throw a curve, so that was real skilled slider, but that thing curved much more like a curve, like a hanging curveball. That slider didn't slide. Lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch on the way to Indy is down and in for a strike. It's 0-1. Maybe a makeup call there for Derek Thomas at some point. He's had some bad calls. Might be trying to even it out there. The 0-1 from Sale brings it. Swatted high and deep into right field. Making the catch just before the warning track is Soler. One away. He gave that ball a ride, but it died quickly. Maybe a step or so in front of the warning track. Got such a short porch out there. It doesn't take much to get it over those walls. That's why it's a little dangerous to think about pulling Sale early, but at the same token, you really need him to pitch and pitch well Tuesday against the Mets. I know Sale's not going to ask to come out. Pitch on the way to De La Cruz is swung on and swatted foul down the third base line. It's 0-1. Twins 2, Guardians 1. It's a big game, big series in the American League Central. We'll take a look at the playoff picture here in just 1 second. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. 1-1 count. Chris Sale, his 85th pitch of the night, brings it. Swung on, chopped foul again. Runner at second, one out. The 1-2 brings it. Slider down and away, 2-2. $52 pitches for strikes today. Through the 86, the 2-2 swung on and lifted into center field. Harris got a late break on it, but he regroups and makes the catch, 2 away. The clouds were shifting in the sky from sun to cloudy and now back to sun again. So that may have had something to do, but he got a late break, not a typical break. Normally you see Michael Harris, he gets a beat on those quickly. 2 down. If we can keep the damage here at just one, at 2 outs, just 1 run and 2 across all in all, we'll take it with 2 outs here in the 5th. Spencer Steer now the batter. Runner at second. First pitch, 90 up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Y'all were talking about cards earlier. One of the other things that I do is that if there's players that I like is the 0-1. Check swing foul 0-2. I'll go back and see if there's deals on it. At the beginning of the year, I noticed that Chris Sale didn't have what you would consider a big time play on his cards. So I've got a couple of his rookies, and I made sure to get the first one with the Braves. He turns out winning the Cy Young. That card will be worth more than it normally would. The 0-2. Chop foul 1-2, especially because he's never won one before. Chris Sale has finished in the top 6 of the Cy Young voting in the American League for 7 consecutive years. And then injuries riddled Sale shortly after that 2018 World Championship that they rode the back of Sale on. The 0-2 misses high 1-2. That's why I keep saying if you can just can punch your ticket into October, you don't know what this team is capable of, because the pitching, there will be no better pitching that you will face than the Atlanta Braves. They are now the top staff in the all of Major League Baseball. The 1-2, high and outside 2-2. Top to bottom, every metric that you can measure, the Atlanta Braves have taken over the number 1 spot in all of baseball. Despite what you read online. Our pitching sucks. We're not any good. No, you just don't understand baseball. They are the best in all of baseball. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pulled the string on that one. That'll end the inning. If that's the end for him, he will qualify for an 18th win. We had to break. Top of the 6th we go. Urshela leads us off.
Everybody stop. I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought this was a session on how my wife could learn to communicate. How to answer a question without a question. Which I thought, given your wall of diplomas, you could easily fix. Or if you couldn't, you could give her a pill that could either fix it or make her a mute. But now, to turn around and gang up on me, I have hundreds of clients to deal with. And just so we're clear, I don't care about any of them. They're all just a number. Like wife number 1 and therapist number 7. Good day.
The donkey said to the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." The discussion heated up, and the two decided to went before the lion, the king of the jungle. The donkey began to shout, "Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "True, the grass is blue. The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence." The tiger accepted his punishment, but before he asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me?" The lion replied, "The worst waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who does not care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions.
Sure, he called a shot. No question about it. The difficulty is, did he point? Did he stand extravagantly and point to center field the way William Bendix did in that terrible movie? No, he didn't.
Ironically, Gehrig was the real star of the Yankees' 4-game sweep, but few would remember his performance in the face of all the publicity Ruth got. Ruth himself was evasive when asked if he really had called his shot. "It's in the papers, isn't it?" he said. "Why don't you read the paper?" 1 month later, Franklin Roosevelt was elected president, pledged to bring his country out of the Depression. "I have no expectation of making a hit every time I come to bat," Roosevelt said. "What I seek is the highest possible batting average, not only for myself, but for my team."
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. New pitcher on the mound, Lee Brandt. Jump on the bump. Urshela leads us off. Braves lead at 8-2. Southpaw Brendan Lee Brandt begins his afternoon. First pitch, slider at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. Brandon Lee Brandt from Alpharetta, Georgia, drafted by the Phillies in 2014. Played his college ball for the Florida State Seminoles. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3, 1 away. He's picked in the 6th round and pitched for the Marlins in 2020. Pitched well, and then but his entire career he's been riddled with injuries. He is the son, if you're curious, he is the son of former Major League pitcher Charlie Lee Brandt. Braves country should be very familiar with. The 0-1 to Arcia, swung on and lifted into center field against the shift. Not a hard hit ball, but a seeing eye single. We'll take it. And it's 1 on, 1 out. Top of the order coming to the plate. Michael Harris II. I remember this guy in college, Brandon Lee Brandt. I did not know that he was still bouncing around the baseball. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 to Harris. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Michael Harris, 0 for 2 on the day. Brings it. High and out of the zone, 1-2. Not sure if you'd put that before or after I said it, pushing buttons, or if you just didn't hear me. Yes, he is the son of Charlie Lee Brandt. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. That's where you're wrong, Charles. The natural hit every light out of the stadium. I saw it with my own eyes. Robert Redford. The 2-2. Swing, chops it over, just over the diving head or leaping head of the first baseman, France. That's going to get through for a base hit, and Arcia will go first and third. Good hard hit chopper. Ball's bouncing the right way for the Braves today. We got runners on the corners, 1 out. So runners on the corners, 1 out. Jorge Soler, the batter. First pitch on the way to Soler. Is in the dirt. Good block by Male. 1-0. Infield is back into the left. They are in double play depth. There's a huge hole on the right side for Soler to take advantage of. The 1-0. Swing! That ball's lifted. High and deep into center field. There's a huge hole over the center field wall to take advantage of. That's a 3-run shot. A little Soler power. 400 happy feet. 101 miles an hour off the bat of Jorge Soler. And your Atlanta Braves rocking and rolling 11-2. Let's get it. Wow. Soler looked confused. He got about halfway between first and second. It was jogging with his hands like, what happened? I think it was the illusion of when the ball hit the sign behind center field. I think he thought maybe that the ball had bounced over the wall, but he hit the sign and it smacked behind the wall and then ricocheted back, so that must have been what he saw. The 0-1 to Marcell Ozuna is up high for a ball. It's 1-1. The 1-1. By the way, that first strike to Ozuna was a terrible call again. 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. But when you're up 11-2, these wide strike zones will work in your favor big time now. Top of the 6th, Braves lead it by 9. What they used to call that, the skunk rule? Are we close to the skunk rule? The 1-2, down and away, 2-2. Orioles lead the Giants 3-2. They're in the 7th. Twins lead the Guardians 2-1. The 2-2 to Ozuna. Down and away. Full count. They are in the 6th in Cleveland. Other games going on today. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. Games of interest in the playoff race. Yankees at the Mariners at 3-10. Now, they have clinched a playoff berth, but they have not won their division. Dodgers are still fighting for best record. They are at the Marlins. Red Sox are at the Rays. Boston has a little bit of a pulse. Down below the knees to Olson, who is 2 for 2. 2 home runs. Walked his last time up to 1-0. Swing and a miss. Tonight, 7:15 Eastern, Diamondbacks are at the Brewers and the Phillies are at the Mets. So repeat after me. Go Brewers, go Phillies. That's what we need as we continue to chase both teams in the wild card. The 1-1 up top, they said he went around 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 3 more on the board. A little Soler power here in Cincinnati.
You're telling me that you believe that Christ comes back to life every Sunday in the form of a bowl of crackers, and then you proceed to just eat the man.
And I still maintain that if Deion Sanders would have played baseball his entire career, he would have been one of the greatest leadoff hitters to ever play the game because he was raw. He didn't even know what he was doing. He wanted to hit homers. He was so fast. He didn't even learn how to bunt yet. And he had such a capacity to change the game. He was great for us. It was jaw-dropping. I mean, he even played in the postseason. He would have been the MVP in '92. If we'd have won and beat the Blue Jays, he'd have been the MVP. That's how important he was. He's playing with a stress fracture in his foot. Words can't describe.
Armchair.
So someone told me that I need anger management, and I don't feel like I need anger management. I feel like I need people to not piss me off. You know what I mean? So to avoid going to anger management, I've compiled an extensive list here of things people can do to not piss me off. Ready? Number 1, leave me the alone. Thank you for your time.
I was listening to a guy talk today, and he was like, a woman that loves you will stick by you no matter how many times you cheat on them. And I was like, sounds like you're talking about your mama, because that ain't me.
I think in the past that certainly Brooklyn's character was defined by the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even just the name Dodgers coming from these trolley cars that everybody had to dodge. The idea that Brooklyn felt a stepchild to New York City and that somehow the Dodgers, the bums, were stepchilds too, that were going to show the hotty-toddy New Yorkers that we were really better than them, defined who Brooklyn was. And even in Long Island, where I grew up, I felt that sense of Brooklyn, and it was all part of the Dodgers. I don't know that that exists today in the same way that you define who you are through your team and through your city. And I think it's a loss. It means that people are more fragmented. They've got themselves and a few friends, but they don't have that group sense unless there's a win. But that's not the same. That's not what this was all about when I was growing up. We hardly ever won, and it didn't matter.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves. Eli White's going to come in and spell Jorge Soler out in right field now with the 11-2 lead. First pitch on the way. Chris Sale is gone, but strap in. It's Luke Jackson time. He fires the first pitch and misses high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Outside wide. 2-1. Braves lead it 11-2. More on that in a second. The 2-1 pitch. Swing. Chops it foul. Thank you for the donation, Keith. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. One down here in the bottom of the 6th. So we told you who was playing. Oh, by the way, there are 2 other games of note. Well, realistically, 1 other game. We'll just give you that. 7:10 or 8:10 Eastern tonight. The Astros face the Angels. Now, as far as the standings, I know it's a lot to keep up with, especially this time of year. The Yankees lead the Orioles by 5 games now. As the first pitch is a curveball. Right there for a strike to the number 5 hitter, Espinal. It's 0-1. The 0-1 brings it down and away, 1-1. So the Red Sox are cooked as far as the division. The Orioles, not much of a chance. They've just gone on it. I mean, they've won 2 of their last 8, lost 3 in a row going into today's action. It's 1-1 down and away, 2-1. Cleveland is very close to salting away their division. They have a 6-game lead on KC and a 7.5-game lead on Minnesota. The 2-1 pitch is swatted into right field, and they've got 1 on, 1 out here in the 6th. Houston has a 5-game lead in the West. The divisions are pretty much done. Milwaukee punched their ticket, winning their third division in the last 4 years last night. The Dodgers, they still could fall back into the fray, into a wild card. They're going to make a playoff position, but they're 3.5 in front of the Padres as the first pitch is a slider in the dirt. To Marte, it's 1-0. The Phillies, their magic number, I believe, is 4. They're 7 in front of the Mets, and that's a wrap. Realize there's only 10 games left. You could lose the rest of your games, and you're going to fall backwards into your division because very rare. The team that's chasing you, the chances of them winning 10 in a row while you're losing 10 in a row, it doesn't happen. It couldn't happen to a better team than the Phillies, but it doesn't happen. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. So that's the divisions. Put those to bed. Now, the one thing you are looking for in the American League outside of that, Cleveland and the Yankees are separated by 1 game in the win column, 2 in the loss. The Yankees have a slight lead for the best record in baseball. In the National League, the Dodgers have 90 wins, Philadelphia 91, the 2-2. Did he go around? Porter says he did not, 3-2. So the Phillies have a 1-game lead over LA for best record. Milwaukee, by the way, they're within spitting distance. They're only 3 games back of Philadelphia, 2 of the Dodgers. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the strikeout. 2 away. So the 3 of those teams should continue to compete. I do think the Brewers are essentially going to mail tonight in because they just won the division. But you never know. If they're tired of getting bounced in the first round, they may really want to make sure that they get that first round bye. First pitch on the way is swung on and popped up high in the air. Shallow center field. Making the catch is Harris, and that'll end the inning. Luke puts 1 on but gets 3 outs. We'll be back in a flash. Who says Luke Jackson can't hold on to a 9-run lead?
Vaughn's been working on a couple of new pitches, the Eliminator and the Humiliator, to complement his fastball, the Terminator. I heard that. Dynamite drop-in money. That broadcast school has really paid off.
Before Jackie Robinson, Moses Fleetwood Walker broke baseball's color barrier. In his 3rd year of college, he enrolled at the University of Michigan. There he was the team's leading hitter, hitting both for average and power. In 1883, he would not return to Michigan, instead choosing to sign with the Toledo Blue Stockings, where he would start his journey to become a professional baseball player. He appeared in 60 of Toledo's 84 games in 1883, despite catching barehanded with his only protection being a mask behind home plate. Toledo's success in 1883 propelled them into the American Association, where they officially became a Major League Baseball team in 1884. This meant on opening day of the 1884 season, the starting catcher of the Blue Stockings would become the first African-American player to play a professional baseball game. During his only Major League season, he batted .263, 3rd best on the team, and 23 points above the league average. Unfortunately, he would be plagued by injuries. His last game of the season would be in July when he suffered a season-ending injury. On September 22nd, he was released. The Blue Stockings folded in 1885, and Walker bounced around between minor league teams until 1888. In 1889, the American Association and the National League unofficially banned African American players. Regardless, he will forever be known as the player who broke baseball's color barrier and paved the way for Jackie Robinson. Armchair.
Brooklyn had last won a pennant in 1920, but the Dodgers had never won a World Series. And with players like Pea Ridge Day and Hot Potato Hamlin, they were best known for what one of their own managers called bonehead play. The most celebrated Dodger star was Babe Herman, who hit .393 in 1930, an all-time Dodger record. But he was famously inept in the field, carried lit cigars in his pockets, and once boasted that if a fly ball ever hit him on the head, he'd quit.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Lauriano leads us off. Lee Brandt will go back to work. Lefty righty, first pitch, pops it back foul. It's 0-1. Lee Brandt, 24 pitches in. Pitch on the way. Misses high. 89 miles an hour. So back to the playoff picture. So we went through the divisions and the best record in the last inning is the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away. As far as the wild card goes, and this is where our bread is buttered, we'll start in the American League real quick. The Orioles are 4 games in front of the final wild card. So they should, even though they're playing terribly, they should make the playoffs. First pitch on the way. Curveball outside wide. It's 1-0. A lot of Oriole fans are worried that they're going to be a quick exit again because They, much like the Braves, they've been decimated by injuries. Their injuries have come on the pitching side. The 1-0 down and away 2-0. They just DFA'd Craig Kimbrell. We talked about that last night. Saw a lot of people saying that, we need to go get him. Well, I saw one post where the guy said, we need to go get him for a deep run into October. And someone was like, we got to get to October, the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Or 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1. He has a 13 ERA since, I believe, August 1st. The 2-1, down and in, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Down below the knees, ball 4. So Travis d'Arnaud works his way aboard again. Good at bat by d'Arnaud. A lot of times you see guys just mail them in. That's his second walk of the day. He's 1 for 2. Whit Merrifield, who's 1 for 3, will stand in the plate. Merrifield hit into a double play his last time out. He singled to right his first time up. He's 1 for 3. So back to the standings as the first pitch is a slider on the inner cut. It's 0-1. As far as the American League is concerned, if it ended today, it'd be Baltimore with the 4 seed, Kansas City with the 5, and the Twins with the final 6. But the Twins, as the 0-1 down and away, 1-1. They are being chased down by the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers have won 8 of their last 10. They've got the best record in baseball since August 10th, and they are a half game out of the final wild card race. The 1-1, chop foul, 2-1. And if they were to make the playoffs, you know how we talked about if the Braves don't make it, we're still going to carry a series or two. I'd be hard-pressed not to carry those Tigers in the first round because that would be a fun watch. The 1-2 inside, 2-2. But we're going to worry about that if we have to. Hopefully the Braves will make the playoffs. Outside of the Tigers, Seattle's 3 back, Boston's 4 back. That's about it. And those teams, not only do they have to get hot as the 2-2, swing, that ball's ripped into right field, down for a base hit, and the Braves got runners on first and second. 1 out. So with all that, putting all that together in the American League, they're basically going 3 wide with 2 spots available, much like the National League. Now, the Padres, they lead the National League wild card. They are 66 losses. That's the easiest way to say this because the uneven schedule. First pitch to Urshela is dragged foul down the third base side. It's 0-1. The Mets and Diamondbacks are both 68 losses. So they're 2 losses behind San Diego with 10 to play. The Braves, 4 behind. The 0-1. Chop foul 0-2. But put the Padres out of your mind because the Braves do not have the tiebreaker. They lost the season series 4-3 to the Padres. So put them out of your mind because unless they free fall, it's going to be hard to catch them. The 0-2 down and away, 1-2. We're going to go over these teams' schedule here as we wind this game down. But just keep this in mind where you're at in the standings. So the Braves, behind the Braves is nobody. Cardinals, Cubs, both 7 games out. Giants 10 and Reds 10.5. Actually, the Reds have been eliminated. The 1-2 caught looking right there at the knees, 2 away. All right, so you put that aside. The Braves are 2 losses behind the Diamondbacks and the Mets. And if they end up in a tie with the Diamondbacks, they have the tiebreaker. If they end up in a tie with the Mets and they win this series next week, they would have the tiebreaker. That series on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is critical First pitch on the way, change up at the knees, it's 0-1. And the Mets have reconfigured their pitching staff. They're going to put their best bullets out there. I expect it to be Severino. I expect it to be, as the 0-1 pitch, pops it up behind home plate, giving chase, making the catch for the third out is Miley, and that'll end the inning. Braves lead at 11-2. Get up and stretch, Braves country. We'll talk more about this playoff chase when we come back.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. A one, a two, a three. Me out to the ball game. Me out to the find me something of Cracker Jack. I don't care if I have to get back over. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. I need some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the ball game. They don't win in the game. You sound better tonight.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves lead 11-2. Luke Jackson goes out there for another inning. I mean, if you can continue to get outs, you would love this. Let Jackson go out there and pitch a few innings. You really don't want to see him in any consequential situations over the weekend. The 1-0, right there at the knees, 1-1. So looking at the schedule going forward, talking about the National League standings, the 1-1, misses, slider down and away 2-1. The Diamondbacks are starting a series, 4-game series in Milwaukee against the Brewers tonight. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, Dunn over the top, 2-2. Dunn 2 for 2, hit his first career home run, the rookie, to dead center against Chris Sale. The 2-2, down and away 3-2. The Diamondbacks are in Milwaukee for 4. The Mets are at home against the Phillies for 4. While the Braves are in Miami after today's game, Friday through Sunday. So a full count once again after the foul tip by Dunn. So going into this weekend, if this score holds, we'll be 1.5 back tonight, and hopefully we can get within one of at least one of the teams by night's end. The payoff pitch is high and inside, ball 4. Jackson nowhere near the zone on that one. 1 on, nobody out. We've seen him struggle before, so it can't. You can't necessarily say this game's over yet because we've seen Luke Jackson implode before. But this weekend, not only you're pulling for the Braves to beat the Marlins, As the first pitch on the way is a four-seam fastball on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Not only are you pulling for the Phillies to beat the Mets, but we need the Brew Crew to take care of the Diamondbacks. The 0-1 swung on, fisted back foul, 0-2. And there is a scenario where the Diamondbacks end up being the odd man out. The Mets have had one of the best records in baseball down the stretch. They are about to hit a really tough buzzsaw. 4 versus Philly, the 0-2, misses up top 1-2. 3 in Atlanta, and then 3 in Milwaukee. And remember, the Brewers are still trying to fight to get themselves a bye. So that ain't nothing. The 1-2, down below the knees. Did he go around? He did not. 2-2. And Milwaukee hasn't been snake bitten by the long bye, so they're not aware of what it does to your bats. So hopefully they'll go out there and play like hell. The Phillies are still trying to win the division. They'll play like hell. We know the Braves are going to put their best foot forward. The 2-2 pops it up high in the sky, coming in. That ball's going to drop into center field. I don't know what the hell was going on with Harris. He was kind of lightly jogging in. That ball dropped about 2 feet in front of him. He kept checking where Arcia was as opposed to just charging in and taking control. You're the center fielder. You got to take control of that. Be a leader. You cannot be a follower as a center fielder. You got to realize that outfield is yours. And everybody gets the hell out of your way. And if they don't, they're going to hear about it from you immediately. Harris is still growing up as a player, but he's going to have to learn. That is your ball. They're going to put that as a single, but you can put that all on Harris for not calling. Arcia's coming from a mile away looking over his shoulder. That's not his ball. And Lauriano was hustling, but he had no chance of getting that ball. Benson, the batter, Will Benson, we've seen him before. Hits for a low average, but, man, he can put a pop into one. The 0-1 to Benson. Slider down and in, 1-1. Didn't love the idea of seeing Luke Jackson again. I know what they're doing. They're trying to get as many outs as they can from him. Save some of the other bullpen. The 1-1 to Benson. Kicks and fires. Slider. No one's biting on that slider. So after this weekend, well, what do you have after that? Well, you got the Mets going to Atlanta and then going to Milwaukee to end it. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks, they start a series on Monday at home against the Giants. The 2-1 right there, first strike, 2-2. The Diamondbacks have not been playing well. The Giants, we know that they're not exactly the top of the league, but that's still a rivalry. So I would think the Giants are going to play as hard as they can just to try to play spoiler. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 away. Then after that early series, at home against the Giants, Arizona will finish their season and you got a righty-lefty matchup here to start the next at-bat. Ellie De La Cruz rips that down the throat of Luke Jackson. It's going to be a single, an 11-3 your score. I mean, at this point, come on, go get him. Snicker has more faith in this Luke Jackson than I've ever seen in a bad player with a manager who supposedly should know better. Runners on first and second and 1 out. First pitch on the way, another slider, doesn't take. Hines, the batter now. Righty-righty matchup, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. 1-1 count. So then the Diamondbacks will finish the season at home against the Padres. 1-1 count. In the dirt. Nowhere near the zone. No one's swinging at that one. 2-1. While that is going on, so you got them playing the Giants and then the Padres. Though it's an outside chance, let's take a look at what the Padres are going to be doing. San Diego, the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. San Diego Padres this weekend, runners on first and second, 2 outs. Luke Jackson, by the way, he's about to throw 40 pitches at 39. The 2-2, just got a piece of it. Do it again. And it's not that you're worried about wearing him out when you're going to use him next. The fact that he's been a relief pitcher his entire career. He doesn't have a lot of stamina. So not only is he a bad pitcher, he's tired at this point. What the hell is he doing out there? The 2-2 count. Brings it. Swung on, chopped foul again. The helmet of Hines has fallen off 3 times in this at bat. He might need to get refitted. Braves lead it 11-3. We're still here in the 7th inning. So you can't say this game's been put to bed yet. The 2-2. Caught, looking strike 3. 95 on the outer mark. 2 away. I really don't understand why Travis isn't calling more fastballs. He's still throwing 95. Fairly accurate. That slider, finally, someone's going to get up off their can. Is that Snicker? Go get this bum out of there. Braves lead at 11-3. Bottom of the 7th. Luke will hit the showers. We'll be back in a flash, Braves country.
This is the best tip for saving money as an adult. Lay the down and try not to move.
Hey, can somebody explain to me how I can still remember my childhood phone number but can't remember my Gmail password to save my life?
Say the weird thing.
All the vowels in Celine Dion's name are the same vowels you sing in Old MacDonald in the correct order. I know this, and now you know this too.
So parenting is a whole lot like pancakes. For the most part, they're going to turn out fine, but you should probably apologize to the first one.
Hey, y'all kids got it made today. Y'all slides is made out of plastic. Ours is made out of aluminum foil and platinum. Real talk, the younger generation, y'all take a walk in our shoes. Imagine sliding down this slide with shorts on in the middle of the day. Ew, he left his ass up there. You ever got to the bottom of this slide and shock somebody and they cry and go tell the teacher? Now you got to sit down in ISS for no reason. Talk about you go too fast with the wrong kind of clothes. The back of your leg look like baked chicken. That had to been the most dangerous thing on the playground. We used to try to show off in front of the girls to run up this slide. Tell one of my classmates try to run up with some slippery shoes and he left his face on them. This ain't nothing but a big spoon.
Commissioner Ford Frick was alarmed by all the big hitting that year. The Yankees had slugged an all-time record 240 home runs, and now he overreacted. He convinced the club owners to widen the strike zone to ensure that home runs did not come too cheaply. The result would be a golden age for pitchers.
Oh, a genius. Perhaps the only pitcher I have ever seen, and certainly broadcast, where after one batter, I would think he might pitch a no-hitter tonight. The only one. He was the only one who would go out to warm up, and he would get applause similar to a symphony conductor who had just walked on stage. It was such respect as well as admiration. I don't think we'll see his likes for a long time.
His name was Sandy Koufax.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. So one of the problems with the Padres, catching the Padres, you ain't going to like this. They host the White Sox for 3 games this weekend. So that's going to be a problem in itself. Now, the White Sox can find a way to win maybe one of those games, then maybe you got something in play because they're going to finish off with the Diamondbacks. And before that, they're going to spend all week on the road next week, the Padres. 3 in Los Angeles to face the Dodgers, and then at the Diamondbacks. First pitch on the way from Brebbia. It's a ball outside. It's 1-0. So it's not necessarily over as far as catching the Padres, but it's highly unlikely just because of the large lead, 4 in the loss column, and they get 3 at home against the White Sox. The 1-0 swung on, fouled back, 1-1. That ball, I think that got a piece of Darno. God, is he okay? He's bent down in pain. He is favoring Murphy. Might need to get warmed up here. It's his right arm. Waiting to see the replay, see exactly where it hit him. Shoulder, it hit him in the shoulder. Now, he's got protective padding there, but that only does so much. He's stretching his arm out. I mean, I know at first he at least has a stinger. Murphy waiting to see if he needs to get loose. Darno appears to be okay. Well, I don't know if we'll say okay, but he appears to want to try to stay in the game. I don't know why with an 11-3 lead, why you don't go ahead and just put Murphy in. Make sure he's okay. We'll see how this plays out, but we cannot afford to lose Travis. The 1-1, swing and a miss up top, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Braves 11, Reds 2. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. I'll tell you what, Brebbia hasn't blown us away with his stats. He's been pretty solid. We'll be back in a flash. We head to the 8th, leading by 8.
Hey, does anybody else get road rage walking behind people? Or is it just me?
This is the career of Dave Winfield. He didn't reach his full height of 6 feet 6 inches until his senior year of high school. Most people know him as an outfielder, but in 1973 he was named All-American and voted MVP of the College World Series as a pitcher. Not only was he drafted 4th overall by the Padres, he was also drafted by the Atlanta Hawks, the Utah Stars, and the Minnesota Vikings. After being drafted, he was immediately placed in the San Diego Padres starting lineup. He never played a game in the minor leagues. In 1977, he appeared in his first All-Star game at Yankee Stadium. From 1982 to 1988, he drove in 744 runs and made the All-Star team every season. After signing with the Blue Jays, he became the 3rd oldest player to hit an extra base hit in the World Series at the age of 41. Next, he spent time with the Minnesota Twins, where he collected his 3,000th hit. He had a cannon for an arm, and no one dared run on him. This is evident by his 7 Gold Glove awards, 2 as a left fielder, and 5 as a right fielder. In 2001, he was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. He holds the distinction of being the first player to go in as a Padre. And don't forget, he wasn't afraid to charge the mound against Nolan Ryan.
I swear, if I could go back in time and tell the woman that stood up for our right to work, I would.
Born and raised in a Jewish neighborhood in Brooklyn, he hadn't planned on being a ball player. In fact, he didn't really like the game that much. He liked basketball instead and wanted to be an architect. But the speed with which he threw a baseball attracted the attention of scouts for the Brooklyn Dodgers. They signed him at the age of 19 and sent him directly to the majors. His career did not get off to a promising start. For 6 frustrating years, he threw the ball with demon speed but little control, losing more games than he won. Then, in 1961, Norm Sherry, a veteran catcher, quietly told him he didn't need to throw so hard to get men out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Top of the 8th we go. I think a couple of these guys may get a chance to take a seat, get one more at bat in, and figure guys like Michael Harris may be given a chance to take a seat. First pitch on the way. Down and away. Curveball, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. You'd think in theory you'd get Duvall in to play some defense. Kelnick. Maybe even Biggio, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. A little surprised they haven't already put Biggio in for Merrifield fighting that foot injury. The 0-2. High and inside. 1-2. The 1-2 count, by the way, Cleveland has come back to tie it with Minnesota. And I don't have a dog in the hunt, but I'm telling you, I've been watching more and more of the AL Central race. This Cleveland team is fun. Is the 1-2. That ball swatted high and deep. Is that going to go? That's going to go. She gone. 12-2 your score and your Atlanta Braves. Another home run. His 14th of the year for Money Mike. 42nd RBI, 402 happy feet, 99 miles an hour off the bat. Braves are up 3 field goals on Cincinnati. First pitch on the way. Eli White swung on and chopped over to third. He's going to be safe. Eli White busting it down the line. You got to respect that. That was a routine grounder. Let's see what's going on here with this. Change the screen real quick. Give me a second. Just realized that thing is just spinning. Excuse me. Trying to reload the screen here, see if this fixes it. It looks like it's fixed now. All right, runner on first. 1 out. Adam Duvall will come in and hit. First pitch on the way to Duvall. It's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. He's in for Ozuna. A little surprised by that. I thought that Ozuna would get a chance to hit, and you would put Duvall in for one of the other outfielders. The 0-1 swatted foul 0-2. But nonetheless, he'll come on for Ozuna. Ozuna was 1 for 4 with an RBI double. Eli now 1 for 1. He has raised his batting average, by the way. Small sample size, but he's batting .303. The 0-2. Lifted. High into center field. Lazy fly ball. 1 away. Center fielder making the catch. Done. F8 in your scorecard. But yeah, I've been paying attention to this American League Central race, mainly because I'm interested. Stephen Vogt, who I always really liked, he had a very small stint with the Braves, but he was the backup catcher for the Braves, and there was a couple of interviews with him where you got to know him and really like that guy. I mean, he's a very likable, and I can understand why he's such a good manager, because he seems like he'd be a players type manager. Not in the, get run over kind of way, just in the way where he understands the game, he played the game, and they're all in for him. The 0-1. Swatted back foul 0-2. There is it's hard to believe that losing Francona to retirement, that they didn't take a drop, and the Guardians appear to almost be better. So I'm definitely pulling for them in the American League this postseason. The 0-2. Swing down the line. We'll do it again. But as far as the wild card, we've seen Minnesota play with their food for enough years. Nothing against the Twins other than the 1991 World Series. Never forget. But I'd like to see the Tigers in the postseason. That would be fun because that's a true underdog story. The 0-2. In the dirt, 1-2. They were expected to be 4th at best in that division, and they have a chance to grab a wild card, that would be something. Be really something to see the Royals and the Tigers, along with the Twins. The Guardians winning the division. 3 teams from the AL Central. The 1-2 pounded down the right field line. Foul. Smacks up against the tarps. But it's hard to pull for the usual suspects in the American League when you look over and you see the Yankees are going to be in there. The Astros are going to be in there. And Baltimore, I don't think they have a shot of making it out of the first round. The 1-2. Lifted high and deep into left field. That'll be a lazy major league pop fly into the glove of the left fielder, Hines, 2 away. So I'm all in on pulling for someone in the AL Central to get out of there this year. That would be fun to see. Those are great baseball cities, Kansas City, Detroit, and Cleveland. And if the Braves can't do it, it doesn't get talked about enough. But the Guardians, the Cleveland franchise, is the first pitch on the way to Lauriano is slapped into left field. That's through for a base hit. Over the head of Ellie De La Cruz at short, in front of the feet of Hines at left. Braves got something cooking. Runners on first and second. Here in the 8th inning. I was just about to say that, Charles. The Kent Hurbeck, Ron Gant incident at first base, I'll never forgive that. I'll never let that go. It's one of the reasons why I have a hard time pulling for the Twins. Not to mention the whole thing they did with the air conditioning that we found out years ago, where they had a guy that was working the air conditioning ducts there at the old Metrodome, and when the opposing team was at bat, he would flip a switch, and the air would be blowing in from center field, and when the Twins are at bat, it'd be blowing out. First pitch to Darno is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. That guy should still be brought up on charges. The 0-1. Did he go around? Looks like he did. 1-1. Consider how close that 91 series is. And he didn't just say he did it in the 91 season. He did it for about a decade, where the Twins were constantly in the playoff push and won 2 World Series during that time. The 0-2, down and away, 1-2. And remember, the Twins won 8 games in their World Series runs in 87 and 91, and all 8 games were won in Minnesota. They didn't win a single game on the road. So tell me that didn't make a difference. The 1-2, chops it over to third, steps on the bag. That'll end the inning. G5 in your scorecard. Braves put one more on the board. It's 12-3. We head to the bottom of the 8th, leading in the Queen City.
I'll take 1 terrible beer filled up way too high so I spill most of it, and a too long hot dog on a too short bun. And do you have mustard and relish?
Yeah, it's right there between the entrance and the exit to the bathroom.
Perfect. And can I get a bag of unsalted peanuts? You know, something I would never eat anywhere else in the world?
Sure, here you go.
Great. I can't wait to have diarrhea in the stall with no door while 20 guys wait for me to finish.
When we make what the men make and get the crowds that the men draw, then we should get paid the same. Literally, the men fund our leagues, and we will still whine that we don't get paid enough. And honestly, it makes all of us look bad, because instead of being thankful for the league that we have, we go out and whine and complain about the pay. I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. I don't hear the men whining about models getting paid more than them. Kendall Jenner is the highest paid supermodel. Where are the male supermodels? But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just complain. Yes, let's not live in this delusion.
If it changes, I don't see why equality should be the only ambition for the women. If it turns out that in some sport women get more viewers watching and therefore draw more revenue, I'm all for them getting more money than the men.
Can you name 5 WNBA players? 5 female soccer players?
I mean, I can't name any.
Support
WNBA,
from
the
the
basketball,
feminists.
I don't
we
know.
would get equal pay if we would just get the support from the feminists.
Well, let me tell you.
Name 5.
Let me tell you.
I don't even know what the WNBA is.
We need our support.
Armchair.
It was an even bet that Babe would either catch it or get killed by it. His general practice was to run up when the ball was hit and then turn and run back and then circle about uncertainly. All this time the ball was descending, the spectators were petrified with fear, and Mr. Herman was chewing gum, unconcerned. At the proper moment, he stuck out his glove. If he found the ball there, he was greatly surprised and very happy.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. They're talking about, who is it that James has 1,800 acres available to him. And Keith said, I am too old to walk long distance in the woods. Keith, I'm too smart to walk long distances in the woods this close to Halloween. I've seen that movie way too many times. First pitch on the way from Brebbia to Espinal is right there for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Espinal leads us off. The pitch. Swing lifted into right field, drifting over. Making the catch is Eli. Book of Eli, one away. One down. Brebbia now to face Marte, who is 0 for 2. The first pitch, out and away. Slider misses. It's 1-0. So if you're looking what to watch tonight, it should be, well, one way or the other, you're going to get a game of interest in your Fox viewing area. The Fox National Game of the Week tonight is either the Philadelphia Mets game or the Arizona-Milwaukee game, depending on where you live. The 1-1. Off the plate, but called for a strike, 1-2. He's been calling that all game. Marte wants to argue, but there comes a point where you can't. Come on, man. It's 12-3. You know that zone's going to be wide. Most of the country's getting New York versus Philly. The 1-2. Swatted back foul. Do it again. But either way, tonight, what you're pulling for is you're pulling for the Mets to lose to the Phillies, and you're pulling for the Brewers to beat the Diamondbacks. But there's a reason why Arizona's a favorite on the road in Milwaukee. It's because the Brewers probably aren't going to put their best foot forward after winning the division. The 1-2 slaps it down the right field line. That'll be in for a base hit, and it's a one-out single for the Redlegs. I know some folks will be watching the NFL tonight, but I think I'm going to be more locked in on Phillies, Mets. We're going to put over on the Cover Country Radio YouTube channel, we're going to put that game up. There won't be a play-by-play, but there will be what you see in front of you, the 3D for folks who want to root along over there. First pitch on the way, four-seam fastball, high and in. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Rosario, 0 for 3. Brings it. Outside wide, 2-0. 2-0 count. Righty. Pitch on the way, outside wide. 3-0. Braves 12, Reds 3. Runner at first, 1 out. The 3-0 from Brebbia. 93 up top, 3-1. You're leading by 9. Just throw strikes. The 3-1. Swing. Pops it back foul. Full count. Three-two count. The payoff pitch. Caught, looking strike 3. 93 on the outer cut. 2 away. Rosario thought it was outside. That ball actually did touch there. He's given some wide calls. But that one was right there on the edge. 2 down. Especially when you're talking about being down 12-3, and you think you're going to get the benefit of the doubt of a 50. The ball looked like it was 50 off the edge, 50 on the edge. First pitch to Dunn. It's a 4-seam fastball away. It's 1-0. You're not getting a 50-50 call down 12-3 in the 8th. It's just not going to happen. Not in a day game in Cincinnati in September. The 1-0. Inside 2-0. The 2-0 count. Up top, 93 miles an hour, 2-1. Braves head to Miami tomorrow. 7:10 first pitch. A little later, they have typically been 6:40 in Miami, but it's set for 7:10 right now. The 2-1 misses high, 3-1. It is 4:10 first pitch on Saturday. So a late afternoon tilt. The 3-1 swung on, fouled back. We'll do it again. It's nice to see them get another Saturday afternoon game. They haven't had many Saturday afternoon games this year. And they were always the norm, especially when you got closer to football season. The payoff pitch, runner goes, swatted down the line, foul. We'll do it again. In fact, they've got very few night games. Even less games of interest on Saturday night. The Mets and Phillies are playing at the same time on Friday and Saturdays. The Braves, the payoff pitch, swatted back, foul. We'll do it again. He's just pumping fastballs there. You can't blame him. Just make the rookie hit one. Runner on first, 2 outs. Brebbia, 25 pitches. You would think most likely next inning you're going to get either Bummer, maybe Jesse Chavez. I don't think Brebbia would go out there for another inning, but you never know. He's at 26 pitches. Brings it. Caught, looking strike 3. Dunn wanted the call, but home plate umpire Derek Thomas says, look, man, you know I'm not very good, and it's 12-3. We'll be back in a flash.
I accidentally spent $800 on phone sex.
I was doing my makeup in the rearview mirror and I ran over your golf clubs.
I burned a hole in your favorite dress.
You didn't get that promotion because I called your boss a fat ass at the Christmas party.
Well, I purposely dropped that bowling ball on your foot so you couldn't go to your high school reunion.
I'm 2 years older than you think I am!
Tonight, the information superhighway and one of its main thoroughfares, an online network called Internet.
The Internet,
a global hookup that permits computers to exchange information. In 1981, only 213 computers were hooked to the internet. As the new year begins, an estimated 2.5 million computers will be on the network, serving as many as 20 million people.
5 years from now, we're not going to have distinct cable and telephone industries. There's going to be one industry, and there'll be companies carrying bits, little pieces of information from point A to point B.
There are also interactive TV channels where people order movies on demand instead of driving to the local video store. High schoolers can get practice questions for the Scholastic Aptitude Test. These new services add about $10 a month to the average cable TV bill.
The Dodgers' best pitcher was Dazzy Vance, a hefty right-hander with an 83-inch reach, who had been the dominant strikeout pitcher of the 1920s. He literally had a trick up his sleeve.
You couldn't hit him on a Monday. He'd cut the sleeve of his undershirt to the elbow, and on that part of it he'd use lye to make it white, and the rest he didn't care how dirty it was. Then he'd pitch overhand out of the apartment houses in the background at Ebbets Field, between the bleached sleeve of his undershirt waving and the Monday wash hanging out to dry, the diapers and undies and sheets flapping on the clothesline. You lost the ball entirely. He threw balls by me I never even saw. Rube Bressler.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Here on Braves Country Radio, first pitch on the way to Biggio. So he'll get a chance to get a bat in. Four-seam fastball from Lee Brandt. It's 0-1. Lee Brandt, by the way, is at 62 pitches. So they just said, to hell with your arm, you're staying out there. The 0-1. Lefty. High and out of the zone, 1-1. 1-1 count. Biggio batting .193 on the year, 5 home runs. Slider at the knees. 1-2. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Fouls it back. We'll do it again. The 2-2 from Lee Brandt, 67th of the afternoon. Outside, wide. Full count. The payoff pitch. Swing. Slaps it into right field. That's down for a base hit. And Biggio, 1 on, nobody out. Here to start the ninth. One on, nobody out. First pitch on the way to Gio Urshela, who's 1 for 4. Slaps it back foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1 lefty-righty matchup. Infield back to the left. The 0-1 swing. That ball's lifted into center field. That's down for a base hit. We'll go station to station. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Two on, nobody out. Orlando Arcia takes a changeup outside wide out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and rips. Lifts it high into left field. Drifting back. Making the catches. Ellie De La Cruz. Deep into left field. Went away. Yeah, he plays those fly balls pretty well. I don't know why they just don't decide to make him a left fielder and just call it a day, because we've seen it all year long in these games against the Reds, and just seeing his highlights as well. Obviously, Ellie De La Cruz is going to be a fun talent to watch at the plate, but defensively, he just doesn't get it at short. First pitch on the way is right there at the knees. It's 0-1. And I know you can say, well, you'll live with the bad defense if he can hit, but not at the shortstop position. That's just not the place you want to try to hide a glove. The 0-1. Swing! That ball's ripped into right field. That ball's gone. A 3-run jack! And your Atlanta Braves. 15th home run of the year, 45th RBI, 374 happy feet, 111 miles an hour off the bat of Money Mike, and it's 15-3 Atlanta. Have yourself a day, Mr. Harris. He is 3 for 5. 2 home runs. First pitch to Eli White, 1 down, is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Brings it. Swing and a miss. 2-0. 1-1 pitch. Guess he called that a strike. Swing and a miss, 1-2. That's very low strike, but okay, 15-3 strike. We get it. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. Got a 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Hammers it over to third. Good scoop over there. It's going to be a 5-3 put out. Marte with a nice snag, 2 away. Two down in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch, swing. That ball's hammered over to third. It's going to be another 5-3 put out. Duvall now 0 for 2 on the day, and that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 3 more on the board. We'll be back in a flash. 15-3 your score. Wow.
Hello, I'm Charles Daniels. For years, we've been taking you to villages like this and showing you the heartbreak of families whose only mistake was being born poor. They need your help, and for only
$2.99
a month, you can provide
the Country Club for Braves Country Radio.
Ask for more. Sorry? Ask for more money. Why are you starting so low?
Don't get greedy. Ask for $2.99.
As you can see, these villagers are desperate for your help, so don't hesitate. Dial the number and send over
$2.99
a month. That's all we need.
Start higher. I know, right?
$2.99
A month may not sound like a lot, but it can mean so much to
Braves Country Radio.
It's not even a round number. I'm just saying, why not start at
$2.99
a month? That's all these people need to survive. And they'd be so lucky and appreciative to get it. So for the price of a cup of coffee.
You talking about all they need to send is the bare minimum to keep us alive.
How you gonna save our lives with only 39 cents? Because I'm trying to do the math in my head, but I just can't see it.
$2.99.
This is plenty.
He keeps saying
$2.99.
Why you keep saying
For the price of a cup of coffee.
why it can't be the price of an Arizona iced tea?
Because it's not the price of an Arizona. It's got to be coffee.
It don't though.
Plus, coffee is way more expensive than
$2.99.
You know, for a starving village, you people have a lot of energy.
Hey, how much was that coffee?
It doesn't matter.
I bet you don't even know what country you in.
I do know what country I'm in.
What country you at? What country you at?
Braves Country Radio.
All right,
Hey, if you want to see this cheap ass white man again, you better send us
$2.99.
cash right now. Don't hesitate.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Bottom of the ninth we go. Daysbull Hernandez will be the the pitcher, excuse me. First pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Hernandez. The 0-1 swung on, ripped up the middle, off the leg of Hernandez, turns around and fires it. Terrible throw, but a good scoop out of the dirt by Olson, one away. Man, that was just an awful throw by Hernandez. Good pick over there at first as it was in the dirt over around by the ankles. Short hop on Olson, too. Olson's making jokes towards the dugout and saying, I got that, man. Don't worry about that. I got that. But if that's a critical play, that would really make you pucker up. First pitch on the way. Drag foul to the first base side. It's 0-1. Benson, your batter. The 0-1, righty-lefty. Looked like it grabbed the outer edge. Now all of a sudden he's pinching the batters. 1-1. Or the pitchers, I should say. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires, fouls back 1-2. One down here in the ninth. Braves lead at 15-3. The 1-2 chops it foul. Back behind home plate. We'll do it again. The 1-2 count. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Got him. Two away. We just put the link in the chat if you want to watch the game tonight. His first pitch on the way is outside wide. Four-seam fastball to Ellie De La Cruz. It's 1-0. The 1-0. We're pinning it to the top of the chat here. The 1-0 misses 2-0. That's where you can go tonight to catch the 3D watch party of the Phillies Mets. The 2-0 pitch, outside wide, 3-0. First pitch there, 7:15. We'll probably turn it on around 7 o'clock. So everybody can hopefully see a Phillies win. The 3-0 caught there on the outer cut. It's 3-1. Reds down to the last out. De La Cruz 2 for 4 on the day. The pitch Right there at the knees, 98, full count. Well, full count to Cruz, De La Cruz, I should say. Infield is back and to the right, the pitch. Swing, pops it up. High down the left field line, but out of play. We'll do it again. It's kind of funny. I just realized on the screen, they've got the sky's black as night now. The sun is still out. The payoff pitch swung on, ripped up the middle, and the inning's not over. The game's not over. Ellie De La Cruz reaches on a 2-out single. And coming to the plate will be Hines. So 2 outs, runner on first. First pitch, swing and a miss from Hines. It's 0-1. Hines batting .267 on the year. 6'4", 215. He does have 5 home runs and 45 at bats, so you can't just lay one in there. Steps out of the box for a second, gets back in. The 0-1. Swing, rips it into left field. Coming in and making the sliding catch is Ramon Lauriano. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses. 15-3 the final. Wowza. Atlanta. They will head to Miami tomorrow, and hopefully everything goes as plans. Ozzie Albies will be in the lineup tomorrow. Be interesting to see where they put him in the lineup coming back, but you would think it'd be somewhere near the top. You might see them slide Soler down, but remember, he's not a left-handed hitter going forward this year. He's going to only be swinging from the right side until further notice, so you're going to have to work that in. We might see Ozzie start off down lower in the lineup and work his way up. Braves win it 15-3. Game ball? Well, I think everybody knows that's got to go to Matt Olson. Matt Olson, not only did he have 2 home runs and 4 RBI, but his home runs really mattered. We got home runs from Lauriano. His home run was huge, but Matt getting the 2 when the game was still on the line. He got the first run of the game. Lauriano technically got the game-winning RBIs. But we'll give it to Olson. You also got to give a tip of the cap to the 2 home runs and the 3 for 5 by Harris. Matt Olson, 2 home runs, 3 runs scored, 4 RBI. He got on via the walk. And Lauriano getting the home run, he went 2 for 5. Big offensive output. 15 RBIs in the game. Jorge Soler got himself a home run, a 3-run shot. All in all, a great game by the entire team. And Chris Sale will go to 18-3 with a 2.38 ERA. We will see you tomorrow night, 7:10 first pitch in Miami. Ozzie Albies Day. Have a great one, Braves